launching. The dumbest radio show in America. Welcome to Common Man and T-Bone.
Here's something I can talk about.
Go ahead.
Why is it doesn't matter what time of year it is, what's going on, I will inevitably, like I did this morning, get this question from my wife. Can you believe it's October already? Yes, I can believe it. She cannot believe that it's any time that it is. Like, if you say to me in January, can you believe it's 100 degrees? No, that's hard to believe.
Right.
But if you ask me, can you believe it's October? Yes, I can.
Featuring Panama Ted.
Too hot.
Timmy Hall.
I will rub one on my face.
And a collection of profane noises.
Coach?
No, Dom.
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
I want me some glory hole.
I'll keep it in the room.
Stop breathing. It used to be a lot longer.
The numbers don't lie.
This is Stupid. This is Man and Bone.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you. Timmy Hall is here. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Bone.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. We got a lot on the slate today. We've got Inside the NFL coming up 3:48. Rapid fire. Yeah. 4 o'clock hour. The Whispers will get you. Game show at 5:34. I actually have a game from a listener.
This is exciting. This is new.
Yes.
We haven't done this before,
And you
right?
know what? I want to throw this out there to the people. You can always send us a game show if you want to. I like that.
No promises.
No promises,
Right.
but you could always send us one if you want to. The email addresses, they're on the website, 971thefan.com. You can find them there. But Taylor sent an email, and he said, I have a game show idea, and it is metal band or like heavy music band or scary movie.
I like it.
So
I think that's perfect.
Good idea.
That's one of your genres, and if you did not know, that's actually becoming one of my genres because I get the itch this time of year. I'm
For
probably
heavy metal. You listen to a lot of...
Right. I like some Five Finger Death Punch and some Knocked Loose. I'm ready to do it.
There we go. There's one. You got one.
No, I am about 25 horror flicks deep here.
Oh,
this
wow.
fall. Yeah, I
didn't know that.
I
didn't know you were this far into the wormhole on horror flicks. That's good.
I've been purging. I've been releasing The Beast, the new Founding Fathers. I've been through all of those. We've been doing some of the M. Night movies. Those are kind of, thriller/horror, depending on which ones you go with. Halloween movies, Jason movies, all of it.
Yeah.
Really,
okay.
all of it. Chucky, the original Chucky. Yeah.
We'll see if he can get you on that. We'll see if we can get something.
We shall see.
We'll find out.
What time again?
5:34 for the game show. So, Timmy, I have a question before we get into plenty of stuff to talk about in the NFL. Big games last night, a couple of interesting outcomes from both those games. But I want to start here because my oldest daughter today embarked on a bus, 4:30 in the morning. They're out at the school.
I think I know where you're going because this has been going around our middle school, too.
It's that time of year where the 8th graders take their trip to D.C.
Oh, yeah.
In our school district, it's the 8th grade trip out to Washington, D.C. And it hit me because I was talking with Fish, our program director, and he used to live in D.C. And when his kids were of school age, that's where they grew up. That's where they went to school. And so I was saying, around here, everyone has the 8th. I feel like everyone has the 8th grade trip. And then I realized Fish is saying, well, my kids just lived there. So they did field trips to these places, but they wouldn't take a week to go out there and experience all of that stuff.
No, you're there. Why would you?
Wouldn't
You're
have
there.
to.
Maybe they go somewhere else,
Well, then
400 miles away. I don't know.
It occurs to me that you grew up in Virginia, not like right next to D.C., but
pretty much, though.
How far away?
About 30 miles.
Okay. So what did your guys' schools do? Did you guys?
We went to Washington, D.C. a hell of a lot. Yeah, we did.
Well, I guess
we did probably 4 different field trips there a year. And so those could all be knocked out in a day. So you could cut down on costs. You just have to get the bus. That's really it. And then whatever small fees. And we also would do a lot of the battlefields. Yeah. That was the big thing that we did.
Oh, I see.
Whether that would be going down to Fredericksburg, Virginia, where you could knock out, maybe 4 or so battlefields down there. You could go up to Antietam in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
We did the Gettysburg field trip in Pennsylvania, Battle of Gettysburg. So we did a lot of those, but then again, a lot of single day trips to D.C. Didn't have an overnight one.
No.
Didn't have an overnight field trip. Not that I recall.
See, that's something that I feel like it must be there's a radius where you would say, if you're in 6 to 7 hours, somewhere in that radius.
I would agree, yeah.
You could do the overnight thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you're, I don't know, middle of Pennsylvania, that's still a good enough drive where you'd probably do that. Do kids, I don't know, but do kids like in New England, do they go through New York and go down to D.C.? Do they take a train? I don't know if they're going and doing this.
I bet it's possible. I bet there's, now that you're mentioning this, I bet you've got school systems all throughout Ohio, all throughout Pennsylvania. Like you said, maybe even New Jersey. But in New Jersey, you might get trips to D.C. and you might also get trips to New York City, depending on how far out of the city you are.
Yeah.
I know you have some family from New Jersey. Maybe
Yeah.
talk to them about that.
I should ask. No, they all went. I know they all took DC trips. They did that. Yes, they definitely did. So
and this is the week-long banger. This is not just a couple of days. This is the entire week in the middle of the school year that you get to go out there. And I know, at least in Hilliard, it's optional. I know that. And it's a pretty good rate, like for a week trip to DC. Jack's not going this year. We've been discussing if he's going to go next year. So I guess it was an option to go 7th grade and 8th grade. I don't know throughout high school if they still do that or what. I don't know.
Here's what I'm asking. If you live in California, they're not going to D.C. So where are they going? I need to know.
Yosemite.
Right. Are they? That must be it.
That'd be good.
They're all going to national parks. They're all experiencing nature. And then when they get older, right? Then they're like, oh, you know what? I've got nature. Hey. And they're just enjoying, that's why California, you see a lot of people who are like, hey, man, you got to get out with the vibe. You got to get out in nature. Meanwhile, all the kids here are primed to go to D.C. and we're all getting into politics and stressing ourselves out. And out west, they're just chill, man.
Yeah.
Go out and look at some arches at Arches National Park or something.
That or we just go to Redondo Beach. We just watch. Watch beach volleyball. That's what we do. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I've been curious about that. So if you know, what did you do if you didn't grow up around Ohio? I would love to know what you guys did. I assume everybody, I was talking to Cole, our guy who's much younger than either you or I, who went to Dublin, and I forget which Dublin high school he went to, but he went to one of them. Anyway, they took an 8th grade trip. It's still a thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing this. We did it when we were kids. I'm just surprised that it's still going on, but yet here we are.
Or just your best field trip, whatever that was.
Oh, you want to know the best?
Whether you took the trip to D.C. or you grew up somewhere else, what was the coolest school-sanctioned field trip you were able to take?
I remember they did this with us once, and I don't know why we didn't do this every year. They took us to Domino's, which, yes, Domino's, local pizza joint.
There was nothing better than when you got to stop at a brand name establishment when you're on school time. That's just one of life's special treats.
But they took us and they showed us how pizza was made. I think I was in maybe 2nd or 3rd grade, and that was the field trip. Was you go, you make the pizza, you then eat the pizza,
right?
You go home,
right?
And that was the full day.
Wow,
it was great.
What a deal, right?
I loved it. I think it took us 4 hours to make pizza because we were all 3rd graders who were throwing dough at each other and, spraying sauce everywhere. But that was a field trip. That was probably my favorite one growing up. You should not be surprised. I like pizza.
This could also be classified under a study abroad type of thing, but you know what? Not really. This was more like a trip. So I was in my freshman year at Weber State, and I went to Paris, France on a class trip.
Oh, my God. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Teddy,
indeed.
Did they do that at Amanda Clear Creek? Did they take you guys out to France? Did you go to Paris for a field trip?
No. There was no Paris, France. No.
Paris, Texas.
Did you go to London, Ohio, Ted, for a field trip? Did you maybe get to do that, hit a truck stop or something?
Yeah. We went to London. Yeah. Went to, Lima as well.
Oh, yeah. Good old Lima,
Not
Ohio.
Lima, just Lima. Yeah. Jose.
Yeah.
You did an 8th grade trip, though, right, Teddy?
No.
Didn't do the DC thing?
There were kids older than me, like my brother. He got to do that. But by the time I got to the 8th grade trip, they had canceled it for whatever reason. So I never got to go.
Ted just, by the way, was in 8th grade a few years ago. So they just, for cost-cutting purposes, he's so young.
Yeah,
he just barely missed it. That's too bad.
I will tell you a funny story about the trip to Paris. So there was maybe 20 or so, and they were obviously mostly French students. You didn't have to be in the French program. So you could go and you could do some reports about the architecture, about the culture. There's plenty of things in Paris to study, to look at, that they could give you some course credit for. I was taking French at the time, so I went there. I was also probably at my peak. I was going to comedy clubs just for fun, just because I was into that. I'm obviously still into that now, and we share comedy clips.
Were you
from
going?
Time to time.
Were you going in France?
No, I was.
Oh, you're saying you just went
at that time of my life. I was going to comedy clubs. I was very into it. I was always thinking about it. I was a big fan of Conan O'Brien at the time, and still am. And so the thing that I did on that whole entire trip, and everybody was egging me on to do this. At the end of it was about a 2-week deal, and I gave a stand-up routine for our whole group at the end of the trip. And it was it was the closest thing I had ever done to getting up on stage. We basically had like a little lobby area in our hotel that it was just us. There weren't really any other bystanders or people hanging around.
I had no idea.
And I did that. I prepared some material. I prepared some observations that I picked up from the trip and some of the people in our group and the quirks that they had. I put it all together. It was maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And I got some. I didn't bomb. I did not bomb.
Do you remember any of the jokes that you did?
I don't off the cuff.
Did you work blue? A lot of probably like racial and sexual stuff. Is that what you went with?
Pretty hard.
A lot of political stuff.
Pretty hardcore that I wouldn't want to. Wouldn't want to bring to the airwaves.
Jack and Jill walked up a hill.
Well, you know, because
whoops, wrong one. There we go. That's your crowd right there, Timmy. They're all laughing at you.
Well, I was going to say, because when you got a heavy Mormon crowd, you want to go like pretty hardcore. You want to go with you want to go with the shock value.
That's right.
You want to get their jaws hitting the floor. So
I understand.
That's mainly what the content was.
That's what I mean. I remember that being in a religious school growing up. A lot of the more shocking you could be, the bigger the laughs would be because everyone was just not prepared for it. So when you got it, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy said this." So you probably did great if that was your material.
Yeah, I had a thing about somebody beating somebody with a set of baguettes. So that was one. There, I don't quite know what the setup was.
Laugh at you.
I guess they did. That's good.
Yeah, the exchange rate. These damn Franks.
By the way, and I don't mean to change the subject, but I just noticed in the little soundboard here, I forgot that we have this theme music. And today of all days, you know what today is, Timmy? Do you know what today is? It's back, baby. Now, I'm not going to do a whole show on NBA, but what I am going to tell you is this music is back on NBC, back for the NBA, because the NBA is back on NBC. So, yes.
Can you believe it?
I'm excited about this. Tonight, you got 2 games. Knicks at the Celtics, where Boston will raise their championship banner. And then tonight after that, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves out in L.A. to take on the Lakers. LeBron James and Bronny.
Nice little doubleheader.
Probably going to be doing that.
Nice little 2-game pack there, Bone.
Yeah, we'll see that. So not a lot of NBA talk today, but just know it's on the radar. We do have some info to talk about from last night. 2 good games in Monday Night Football. One of them was a good game. One of them became a close game. But we need to talk about what is happening in the NFL when it comes to injuries. And we also need to talk about how there's a team right now that I am very envious of. We'll get to that next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to find traffic is moving slow on northbound 71 on the north side between 670 and 11th Avenue. And we also have a slowdown on northbound 71 on the south side between Greenlawn Avenue and 315. This report is sponsored by Z-Bar. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bar undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bar, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
The Christmas Cash Giveaway is now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Friday night in the Buckeye State means only one thing: high school football, baby. Join Ryan Baker and Coach Lee Cochran for Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime.
Friday night at 9:30.
Your home of all things football, The Fan.
The NBA is back, and FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all of the action, Beam, because right now, FanDuel is giving all users 3 months of NBA League Pass, giving you access to all the games. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and every buzzer beater and place a $5 bet on the NBA. $5 gets you the NBA League Pass. There's going to be all kinds of things that you want. Maybe you're a Lakers fan. You like Bronny. You like LeBron playing together. Put a parlay together with him. Victor Wembanyama at San Antonio, what he's got. Maybe the Cavs. See where they can get Donovan Mitchell. Everybody getting the gang back together to make that playoff push. It's all there for you, Beam.
If you're new to FanDuel, well, just visit FanDuel.com/juice. Get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 years and older, present in Ohio. After 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Low energy, brain fog, or bloating? Your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looks like another warm day out there today. Look at this. The high today, close to 80. Looks like we have sunny skies again today. Sunny tomorrow, high 77. And then cooler, refreshing air on Thursday as temperatures drop down to 63. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
You wanted the best. Instead, you got these two. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Timmy Hall is in. Panama Ted is in. I am T-Bone. I am always here. Except when I'm going to Alabama for metal concerts. I am here. You, of course, can find us wherever you get your podcast. Just search Common Man and T-Bone in your podcast app, whatever app you use. Apple, if it's Spotify, if it's some other app I'm not even thinking of, it's there. You can find it and just search Common Man and T-Bone. It'll come right to your device every single day if you add it or subscribe. That's how you get it every day. That all comes to you courtesy of our friends at Care Heating and Cooling. So we appreciate them doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Never miss an episode there. Timmy, last night, Ravens I mean, they took it to the Bucs, and then in garbage time, Baker tried to make it interesting. That offense got going a little bit, and then everybody got hurt, and they still lost. But Tampa made the score more respectable. If you just woke up this morning, you might have thought, oh, that was a pretty good game. No, I mean, Tampa got out to a lead, and then Baltimore just played excellent football, and Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He's incredible. But
5 touchdown passes.
Yeah, he was 17 to 22, 333 yards, 5 touchdown passes. It is like, I was talking with Matty Ice about it. I know he's a big Ravens fan, but this is it. This is what that guy was drafted to do. This is like one of the most worked out guys you could ever have in an NFL draft. And I find it interesting because I know the stats are a thing. What is more important is if eventually you have to, every Ravens fan would trade all these numbers for Super Bowls. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Joe Flacco got one. You've had Super Bowls in multiple eras now since the Baltimore Ravens moved there and became a team and left the Browns' colors and history and record books behind. So you need the Super Bowl. You're right. You need to get to the Super Bowl first off. Well, but he's great. He's probably on his way to his 3rd MVP season right now. 5 touchdown passes, and he's got Derrick Henry. I just love it. There was a faction of people that really thought, maybe somewhere deep down, myself, I probably wasn't even looking into it that much because he played for the Tennessee Titans, and they're one of the more irrelevant football teams. And it's actually nice to see Derrick Henry. I know not for any other fans of AFC North teams, but my God, this guy, 169 yards. I saw the little Instagram clip of him yesterday of him running full speed uphill for his workout training. He's cutting, he's beating guys, like running full speed uphill, cutting, and this guy is a mammoth. He is a specimen.
Well, and when I saw that happen, and I thought, great, the Ravens are going to get this Derrick Henry situation to happen, and now they're going to be a running game that will actually work for them with Lamar Jackson. Again, it's early. It seems like that's a thing that the Ravens do quite often. Is they have some of these types of games where you go, oh my God, no one can beat them. And then you get to January and they actually have to go on the road because they've lost a couple games here and there they shouldn't have. Meanwhile, you got a team like the Chiefs that's sitting 6-0. And if you go look at Pat Mahomes' stats, he's having one of his worst statistical years of his career. I think he has 8 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. And Lamar Jackson had 5 touchdowns last night, and that's almost all the touchdowns Pat Mahomes has had all year long.
And, of course, they lost to the Chiefs, right? The Ravens lost to the Chiefs, so if they can't make up a couple of those games, like you said, to your point, you'll be going on the road again in the postseason. You have to figure out how to beat Patrick, who the cream is going to rise to the top when the games become bigger. And so far, Patrick can just rely on managing the game and doing what he can do to keep things honest until some guys get healthy or Travis Kelce finds that A game again, if he's going to find that, whatever it looks like. But their defense is really, really good. Their defense is one of the best. It's one of the top 3 defenses in the NFL right now.
But I get when people get a little sick of the hype with Pat Mahomes. I'm at that point.
This guy, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Like I just saw at the Vegas sports books, he has just now not become the favorite to win the MVP. Lamar passed him in the odds to now be the odds-on favorite, which again doesn't matter. You give 2 more weeks from now, that could change again. I'm just saying, if you looked at how these guys' seasons have been going from an actual what they're doing on the field, Lamar Jackson's having the better season, but Pat Mahomes' team is having the better overall record. They're doing more. They're undefeated. They beat this team.
Hold on a second. What did you think Patrick's stat line was? Touchdowns and interceptions? What did you think it was?
I thought is it 8 and 6 or 6 and 8?
It's 6 to 8.
That's right. 6 touchdowns,
8 touchdowns, 8 picks. And now our guy Lamar has 15 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions.
You know who has just about as many touchdown passes as Lamar Jackson?
Deshaun.
Joe Burrow has 14 on the year, if I'm not mistaken.
As Lamar. Yeah, Joe. Yeah. Joe's looking good.
Yeah, I'm saying he's having a season too. So I'm like, again, I know that doesn't tell you anything. The quarterback stats, Baker's numbers last night don't necessarily look terrible at the end of it because he threw some touchdowns, but the end of all that, it didn't matter because that was not a close game. And ultimately, the Ravens
weird finish to that game.
Yeah, they came back and made you think.
Yeah, but it was more like the game was it was a classic case of this game was really, really over.
It should have been over.
It was 41 to 18.
Yes.
It was over. It honestly felt weird, even before we get to the very end, why Tampa Bay was trying so hard. It's like, guys, shut up. Stop. You know, it's like when you're trying to get your kids to go to bed already, and you've been quiet, you've been lazy for 4 hours here, and now that it's 9:30, you won't shut up, you won't stop making jokes. Just be quiet and go to bed now. Tampa, stop slinging the ball all over the yard. You physically can't win this game.
You needed almost a John Taffer on the sidelines who just comes in and says, shut it down. Like, this
place sucks. You know what? You don't have the right to play this fourth quarter.
Right. Also, I don't want to gloss over this because I think this is something that I've known he's good. We've known he's good. He's played a long time in the league. Mike Evans got his 100th touchdown pass yesterday in this game.
He's so good.
Before getting hurt, then he had hamstring issues, so he had to leave the game.
And that was a touchdown ball, too.
I know, right? He caught
God, and his hammy just looked like it blew. Did we hear an update on him?
I haven't heard what the update is yet on him. Obviously, they lost 2 receivers in that game. That was bad news there, but more on that in a minute. I wanted to point this out to you. Here are the names of the receivers who have caught at least 100 touchdowns in their NFL career. Ready? Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison, Larry Fitzgerald, Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, Tim Brown, Steve Largent, and now Mike Evans.
They're all Hall of Famers.
I was going to say, every one of those guys is a Hall of Famer. So
big time Hall of Famers.
No question, Mike Evans, Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody should have doubted that. But in case you did, he's a Hall of Famer. And that's a number right there you can point to. Easy as pie to say yes. That gets you in.
I just was at the Hall Sunday, and it was awesome. I don't know if Gates is in yet, but he clearly will be.
He should be.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the 5-year window. He will.
He should be in there. I don't think he will. 5-year. He should be in there regardless. But every other one of those guys is or.
It's again, you've got the 1,000 catches, the 10,000 yards, the 100 touchdown catches. That's the trifecta. Those are the marks of truly Hall of Fame level pass catcher.
Yeah. And I felt bad. Did you see Chris Godwin when he went down?
I seen it.
That was a bad injury with the ankle. Did you see the zoom in on, not the ankle, on his face when he was sitting on the cart?
Yep. Said, what a shame.
Well,
is that what he said? Is that what you lip read?
I saw someone who said, my career's over. Like, he said a few things and he was shaking his head and he was like, my career's over. Like, it was what it appeared. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what he said.
I do love how we all think we can lip read, and we have no idea. Like, we did this with CeeDee Lamb, and everybody thinks they knew what CeeDee Lamb said to Dak. We have no freaking idea what he said.
You're right. Maybe not.
I know the facial expression you're describing, sitting on the cart. He's just like, man, this sucks.
He was resolved. Like, it's just like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, if I had that injury happening, all you would see is me screaming. Like, I wouldn't stop screaming until they put all the numbing stuff in. There's no way. Like, I couldn't. No,
I think what he said is Todd Bowles wouldn't let me stop playing.
Yeah, why was he out there?
Why?
Game was over.
You already lost Mike Evans.
It should have been over.
Don't tell me, we don't have any other players we can put out there. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Don't run 5 receiver sets then. Stupid. Run a big package. Just run the ball. Just end the game.
Yeah.
You just cost them. You just cost your team. Chris Godwin, you can say whatever you want to say about this is football and we're competitors. We're still trying to.
You got to know.
The fact that you're saying we're trying to score and win the game. Stop.
No, the only thing you were going to do was score. You were going to screw up gambling lines. That's all you were going to do. You were not going to come back and win that game.
That's it. It was a 3.5-point spread. You were going to kill the spread.
That could have been it. That's the only thing. The NHL and the NBA are doing battle tonight. I'll explain why next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 5-minute slowdown due to an accident if you're on High Street between Woodruff Avenue and Lane Avenue. And we also have a couple-minute delay on westbound 70 downtown between the 71 East and West split. This report is sponsored by Ohio 811. Call before you dig. Contact Ohio 811 at least 48 hours before you dig. It's easy to do, and it's the law. Centerpoint Energy, Columbia Gas, Duke Energy, and Enbridge Gas want you to dig safely. Contact Ohio 811 every time you dig. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at your main Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at your main Honda of Dublin.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set a second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have 0-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at byersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Attention. Please flip your listening device to the stupid setting. Thank you. You're listening to Man and Bone.
Welcome in. Hope your Tuesday is good. Timmy Hall is in. Panama Ted's here too. It's not a Wednesday, so Ted is working. Are you working tomorrow, Teddy?
I'm here all week.
Oh, look at you.
Wow.
Look at you.
Wow.
That's good. I
to
love
what
that.
do we owe this pleasure to see Panama Ted on a Wednesday?
Oh, yeah.
Please, Teddy doesn't work Wednesday.
I am this week. I did last week, too.
Yeah, see, Teddy,
I don't believe
this
you.
is surrounding a bye week, though, where he didn't have to work on Saturday. So, see, Teddy does work Saturdays, so he's, he's working
That's right.
Sundays 6 days a week.
Yeah, I was recharged all weekend, so
Yeah,
I could
you
just
were good.
power through this whole week. Yeah, ready to
Exactly
go.
right.
It always just works out for me, too. I get a Saturday off. I don't have to get all the grief from Panama Ted, and then Mike's out for a couple days, and I just wind up getting all the grief
That's
anyway.
right. Yeah, because
That's
Beamer
exactly
just
right.
texts me, says, "Hey, say this to Tim."
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah. Make sure he hits the element at 4:19, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love that. We have Inside the NFL coming up 3:48, and then we will have Rapid Fire 4:34, game show, 5 o'clock hour. We'll do Scary Movie or Scary Band.
Good.
Loud metal band. So the NHL NBA going to war tonight, or at least a battle, we'll say. Tonight it is the Frozen Frenzy in the NHL. All 32 teams, including your Columbus Blue Jackets, are in action. They have 16 games, naturally, because you have 32 teams. You have to have 16 games.
That's good math.
I like how that works, right?
Yeah. Right here, by the way, 7 o'clock coverage tonight on the Fan. Jackets hosting the Leafs.
Yep. I think the game is actually 7:30.
7:30 game, 7 o'clock
7
coverage
o'clock
right here on the
coverage.
Fan.
Gotcha. There you go.
Yep.
So the reason in part for that is because the NHL on this Frozen Frenzy, if you don't remember them doing this, they have a game starting essentially every 15 minutes or so from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. like the whole way. I guess I'm a little off there. 6,
Even 11.
6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30's Jackets time, 7:45, 8, like all the way through. And then they have a couple late games, 10, 15, and 11.
Yep.
And why I say they're going to battle with the NBA is because did they just pick this as a random day to have all 32 teams in action? Maybe. But probably they picked this as a day to have all these teams in action because they know the NBA is tipping off. And they know they probably have to fight the NBA. They're trying to get a little bit of market share from the NBA. I can't say I blame them. I think that's a good idea. It's a good strategy for the NHL.
I mean, shoot, you're going to compete. These are the two winter sports, right? A lot of these clubs share the same venue. That's sort of the way for a lot of them still, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many arenas out there double as a hockey arena and a basketball gym? We got the Utah Hockey Club now.
Utah-key. They're there.
Utah-key, man. I would imagine they're playing in the Delta Center, right?
They are in Utah. They are playing the Senators tonight at 9:15. So
the Washington Senators.
Or Ottawa. One of the two.
Great franchise.
Yeah, so, I mean, I like the fact that there's a little juice here. I like the fact that they're a little frustrated trying to make sure that the NHL gets their piece of the pie.
Yeah.
That's how I read it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but overall, I think I like it when these two are kind of battling it out.
I do too. I also appreciate, and we can have a lot of criticism, and I know like we'll get on baseball's case for not emphasizing more day games during the middle of the week, and why they can't, figure that out and use some common sense when it comes to some of their, pitch times and starting games. But if you're going to create a thing like this, you call it the frenzy, you have, the staggered start times for faceoffs, have every single team playing. I think that's a neat thing to do. And it does, like you said, coincides with two big NBA games. Just two, so you get every single NHL team and just, four of the most famous. Maybe not, I can't say the Timberwolves are one of the most famous franchises, but they're really good.
They
got the Ant-Man.
Yeah,
so
they do.
They got one of the
Edwards.
best. He could be, I mean, do you think he's top 2?
He's top 3. He's definitely top 5.
3, right?
Definitely top 5, I would say. It's
overall player, overall talent, right?
He's very good. Fun to watch.
Jokic, Ant-Man, Doncic, would those be?
Yeah, they'd
the big
probably
three
be there. I would say
right
that's probably there. LeBron still hovers around that big 5.
Of course. I wouldn't put him outside the top 5. I wouldn't do that to LeBron
crazy.
until he showed us that we had to.
By the way, tonight they are going to raise a banner for the Boston Celtics, obviously in Boston. Joe Mazzulla, who is the head coach of the now defending champion Boston Celtics, had an all-time quote. He was asked yesterday afternoon about the pressure to repeat. Obviously, the Boston media, kind of known for being one of those media groups that there's always, no matter what you do, it's like, yeah, but what about last night? You guys sucked. They're just never going to let off on the pressure. So he was asked, do you feel that pressure from the fans and the media? He said, quote,
No?
Quote, 0, no pressure. we're all going to be dead soon, and it really doesn't matter anymore, so there's zero pressure. I love this guy. Joe Mazzulla is one of the funniest quotes. If you've never seen this guy's press conference, he just stares into the void and says whatever you can think would be the most insane answer to a question. He'll go, no, I got one better than that.
Oh, my God. What a 14-year-old emo answer. Kids shopping at Hot Topic at the mall, not really knowing what direction their life's going now. It doesn't really matter because we're just all going to be dead. So what's the difference?
It's
do it or don't do it. It doesn't matter.
This guy is like first-year philosophy major at college where it's just like, doesn't really matter. We're all going to die anyway. Right.
It's like the teacher just puts their head in their hands and says, oh, Joe, that's not the point of the exercise. You're not listening to the question,
There is, in fact, only one way to break Joe Mazzulla out of his weirdness, where he says all these random things and you just stare off and go, what did he even mean when he said that? And that is to play him this song. Because it gets everybody happy. It's ready. I'm ready for some John Tesh tonight. That's what I'm telling you. I know NBA is not everybody's favorite thing. I get it. And you know what? We'll talk plenty NFL. We'll talk plenty of college football. We got all that. So NBA's back tonight. Let us NBA fans enjoy this a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
It's about enjoying it. We're going
to get an NBA team here. That's also my next goal. Just
you think so? Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Oh, yeah, I know. With
our sports commission, come on. I
would love to see.
We got to do some work. But by the way, when you first found, I love how I just said, oh, by the way, and one more thing. When you first found the John Tesh YouTube vid, how many times did you watch it on repeat? At least 30?
I have seen that video at least 100 times. You're talking about the live music.
Of course.
He's describing.
If you're a basketball fan and you don't know the YouTube vid I'm referring to, or John
Did you
Tesh,
tweet it out?
I tweeted out me reenacting the John Tesh stage video.
Yeah. If you've never checked that out, you need to watch it. And I would honestly encourage you to go watch it right now because it is so good. But what I want you to key in on, John Tesh is giving a concert, and he is talking about how one day I was sitting there and I had to come up with this theme, and I'm trying to think of anything, and then it came to me in my head.
He was in a foreign country, sitting at a cafe, and it came into his head, and so he had to call his
answering machine at home.
Which is so staged. The whole thing, the whole bit.
He said, I called the answering machine at home, and he said he was humming the notes to the NBA on NBC theme song.
Roundball Rock.
Yes. And so then they, of course, proceed to play it live. And my favorite part of that video, the absolute best part of that video, is when John Tesh, they cut away from him to his guitar player.
And it's Nick Saban.
Who is Nick Saban with long hair.
Yes.
It is the greatest moment in the history of music, in my opinion. I will never not move away from that. It is my favorite thing ever.
And then the other guy with the violin is the dude from Master and Commander.
Yes. This video.
It's amazing.
Listen,
everybody's there.
If you've ever wondered, T-Bone, what would be the perfect video for you? This is it. This is the number one video of my life that I've ever wanted to see, and it's all right there.
There's probably Gimli from Lord of the Rings playing bass guitar.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to check out to see how many other characters look like somebody through that entire ensemble.
Oh, it's truly one of the best, and I will never tire of it.
So
and I will
good.
play it. You know what? At my funeral, play this video.
Okay.
That's what I will say.
All right.
If we all are just like, if the sun doesn't just take us all in one day, or Yellowstone doesn't explode and we're all vaporized.
That's not how we're going to end.
I was trying to do Joe Mazzulla there. If we're all just going to probably explode anyway by an asteroid or something.
Yeah,
anyway,
take it easy, Joe.
Inside the NFL's next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should know that eastbound 670 between 5th Avenue and International Gateway is currently closed due to some police activity. Traffic has stopped from 3rd Street, so seek an alternate route there. We also have a slowdown on northbound 71 on the north side between 670 and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. The Ohio Laborers, they're more than just hard hats and tools. They're the backbone of Ohio's infrastructure, constructing vital projects that shape your communities. Their skilled laborers pave the way for smoother commutes, ensuring safe and efficient travel on Ohio roads and highways. Build Ohio right, build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844-MEDOhio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844-MEDOhio.com.
Trust & Will knows that you're likely celebrating a loved one's birthday this month because fall is the most popular birthday season in America. And Trust & Will celebrates by protecting what matters most. Trust & Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, designed by attorneys but customized by you. Visit trustandwill.com with offer code Columbus for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust & Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Morning Juice.
Process is important. Process leads to outcomes. Execute and live in the right process consistently. You'll get the outcomes more often than not that you want.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
It's Rocktober, baby!
It's Rocktober at Lindsay Honda.
Just announced for the rest of Rocktober, we're lowering the finance rate to 0.9% on every new Lindsay Honda. And you still get the Lindsay Honda difference. A $1,295 value package included with every vehicle purchase.
This is it.
Turn up the noise with Lindsay Honda.
With approved credit on select in-stock 24 and 25 Honda models. Dealer contribution may affect consumer cost.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. We often hear businesses say that they are, quote, family owned and operated, which leads you to think, how often are the owners of the company involved in day-to-day operations? Well, when it comes to Newman Roofing, I can personally tell you that I met with Tim. I met with his daughters. They have 4 family members of Newman Roofing overseeing the different divisions of the company, ensuring that an excellent customer service experience is going to be provided to you every time. Folks, I can personally testify they were great with my wife and I, and they will do the same for you. With Newman Roofing, their family focuses on every detail, and it allows them to deliver that white glove experience, not just for me, but for everyone, that you're not going to get with those larger corporations. 32 years in business, 3 generations in the roofing industry. They can do it all, and they will take care of you. So before those winter storms hit, have Newman Roofing come out and take a look. Whether it's a repair or replacement, Newman has you covered at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Highly medicated, barely educated. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Timmy Hall is in. We are currently obsessed with the Roundball Rock video.
So I've tweeted it out. So go check out my account or just go right to YouTube and type in John Tesh Roundball Rock, and you're going to want to watch the one that says the untold story behind Roundball Rock.
Just go to your Twitter handle.
And go to my Twitter handle at TimHall971.
There you go. And just get it there and watch it. And go to what's the timestamp? Like 2 minutes in
2:45.
2:45.
2:45, and you will see Master and Commander Russell Crowe with Nick Saban. Violin, Master and Commander, Saban shredding the guitar, vibing too.
It's one of the greatest clips of the history of the internet. I don't know why. And by the way, like every violinist there is like on point. They are all just like
great.
They all look like John Tesh went out and said, "Find me the Deal or No Deal like models, but have them all be able to play violin, and then that's who's going to play violin for me." And they're going, and then it's just, and then Nick Saban's there with long hair. It's unbelievable. All right, we've got some business to attend to, Timmy. You know what time it is, right?
Well, as soon as you turn the thing up.
It's time for Inside the NFL.
Common Man and T-Bone's Inside the NFL.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, Timmy, take it away.
All right, well, we talked about it, but Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin, he is going to undergo surgery on a dislocated ankle later this week. I was looking up his stats, too, because I think you got to look at the fact that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin have probably been the best wide receiver tandem for the last 8 years in the National Football League. You already told us what Mike Evans' stats were, and I think Mike might be on the 1,000-yard streak still. I think every year he's played, he's had 1,000 receiving yards. Well, Chris Godwin has been sensational. He's been in the league from Penn State since 2017, and he's actually on 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Obviously, he's not going to be able to hit that in 2024, but he was having a hell of a start to the year. He had 50 catches, 576 yards, and 5 touchdown catches. So really stinks that Chris Godwin is going to be done now, but that's the way it goes. He was still in the game. So Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets quarterback, he's got the answer, Bone. You want to know why they stink?
Why do they stink?
You want to know why it hasn't been working?
Why is that?
Not enough fun. Not having enough fun.
You know what I
Playing
think
with
they
too
need?
much anger.
They need another former Packers lackey of his to go over there to the Jets. This one will be the one. If they could, I don't know.
Josh Jacobs, do we need him?
Where's Eddie Lacy?
Lacy.
Let's get old Eddie Lacy out there.
Fat Eddie Lacy.
Yeah. I'm just
Caught
saying,
him in the wrong angle.
Just get someone to be over there that could go to the Jets. That's definitely the only reason they're not good is because they just haven't gotten enough of Aaron Rodgers guys back there yet. That's all.
Take a wild guess where Aaron Rodgers made these comments. Take a wild guess.
I'm going to guess he was on the Pat.
That's right.
McAfee. Is that the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was on the show today. And he said that the power of belief is a snowball that can start in an avalanche.
Well, I guess his snowball didn't get going last year, right? When he tore his Achilles and couldn't get back. Power of belief didn't get to him. Maybe the power of love could have done it, you know?
Huey Lewis in the news. That's the power of love.
That's right. Play that. That probably would have fixed it.
Hey, yesterday was Back to the Future Day. Yesterday.
Oh, it's the date he puts on the thing?
Yeah. October 21st, 1955.
Yes, but what date did he go to? We already passed the date that he went to, right?
Oh, the year, you mean?
Yeah, well, the date and year are all together.
Well, 2015.
We're way past 1955.
And you know whose birthday is today?
Whose birthday is it?
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
really?
see, look at that.
Great Scott.
Like he's 80-something. I don't know. I can't remember.
I like it. This is good.
Christopher Lloyd has been looking really, really old for the last 15 years. I mean, he's looked like he's 100.
Really, really old ever since I've been aware of Christopher Lloyd.
Right.
He's Back to the Future.
He's always looked old. He's one of those guys that was like, I'm 35 years old. I look like I'm 70. I'm just going to roll with this Barbara Bush style.
That's fair.
And make it happen.
It's like Steve Martin. Like I'm watching clips of Three Amigos. It's early 80s. I'm like, how the hell? How has Steve Martin managed to be 50 for 65 years? He turned 50 when he was 27, and he's 50 now at 83. Like, I don't get it.
Father of the Bride in the 90s.
Yeah, he was.
The movies came out. He was Father of the Bride. And it never even occurred to me when I watched those movies as a kid. I didn't understand the Steve Martin Short connection would be like all of that, like their entire careers. I had no idea how they would span all that stuff, like Three Amigos, all that.
How do you like the Father of the Bride Part 2 plot line where mom and daughter have baby
pregnant
right next to each other, basically? They're in the delivery room the same day.
We used to joke that's
cool.
what Mike and I were going to do when we got our vasectomies. We were going to get them at the same time, and Ted would be like Steve Martin, just running in between the rooms, just checking on both of us, holding our hands, wiping our sweat off our brow, telling us it would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know what, Steve Martin, let him live. Doing good things with the banjo, my guy. He's a banjo master.
Yeah, Steep Canyon Rangers.
Oh boy, I didn't know that's even better. I had no idea you had that pool in you. That's great.
Yeah, I do.
Very good stuff.
I know everything about Steve Martin.
Timmy, we're going to go from NFL to Fat Boy food tips. You ready for it?
I am.
Fat Boy
I'm
food
hungry.
Tip coming up next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to hit a 10-minute slowdown if you're on eastbound 33 between Refugee Road and Hamilton Road. And we've got a couple-minute delay on westbound 670 from Grandview Avenue to I-70. This report is sponsored by Norton 360, October Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Boost your online security with Norton 360. As PC Mag's most awarded security brand, Norton blocked over 219 million threats last year. Stay ahead of cyber threats with Norton 360. Get up to 58% off at norton.com/secure. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Full inventory sale at Logan Services. Save up to $2,500 and 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. Plus, your choice of 1 air quality freebie. It's hard to stop a train with a system for every home and budget. Now, for a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a water heater and water conditioning combo. Ask us about tax credits when you book your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Scotty Vegas here, and I got to share this story from the weekend. So we're doing a live broadcast at Hollywood Casino Columbus, and this awesome couple, Beth and Chuck, come up to me. They heard my Awaken 180 endorsement and decided to place their bet on the best payout in town, their health. They started earlier this year, and man, we had a blast talking about how great Awaken 180's been for all of us. Even traded some food tips. Beth hooked me up with an Awaken 180 approved cheesecake recipe. Wings, pizza, cheesecake, all on the menu when losing weight with Awaken 180. The best part, we all have Patrick as our coach, and just like you trust your bookie, we trust him to make the right calls on our health. It's a winning system, no question. You don't need luck, just the right game plan, and Awaken 180 gives you that every single week. If you're ready to cash in on your own health jackpot, call 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com and place your bet on a new you.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels at his weekly press conference today. Ohio State coach Ryan Day, while getting the team ready to play Nebraska this weekend, confirmed the season-ending injury to left tackle Josh Simmons, and the tight end Will Kazmarek will miss some time with an injury. Also on the heels of their struggles against Oregon, especially defensively, Day says everybody's got to get better.
It's the coach's job to make sure that we put our players in a situation, an environment to be successul. So that's the first thing we've got to look at, and then it's the player's job to go do it and execute it. So all those things were part of the conversation this past week, and we definitely need to do a better job there.
Blue Jackets at home with Toronto, 7:30 face-off here on the Fan tonight. 7 of the last 10 games of the Leafs have been decided by 1 goal. Jackets also put Eric Goodbranson on IR following shoulder surgery. This update brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. With a drastic rise of diabetes, dementia, and cancers, we've been fooled by foods. Reverse the curse at awaken180weightloss.com. Breaking sports news right here on the Fan.
Did you feel that? It's your radio getting fatter. Getting fatter.
Chubby time!
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Hope your Monday's going well. Timmy Hall is in. Teddy is here. We are all here. Man and Bone, brought to you by our friends at the Hinderer Motor Company, right here on the Fan. I'm reminded of this, Timmy, before we get to the Fat Boy Food tee-up.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I'm walking around and I'm having one of those moments you can only have when you work at a sports radio station, where I'm walking down the hall to our area where the studios are, and standing right in front of our area for the studios is former Ohio State head football coach John Cooper.
Yeah, this was cool, right?
Coop is there because he's doing Coach's show. They do a
little TV
thing with
hit.
10 TV.
Adam King is standing there.
Yeah, Adam King is there. Beanie Wells is standing there.
My God.
Right? Beanie's there, of course. DeVere Posey is coming out of the studios because we're getting ready to come in. He's coming out. He's standing there.
Matty Ice is there.
Then Paul Keels is walking in, standing there. And it's like, if you'd have told me in high school that I'm going to be walking around with Paul Keels, John Cooper, I didn't know DeVere or Beanie at that point because I was in high school and they had not yet been to Ohio State, but like former Ohio State legends would just be walking around. The other night, last night I'm walking out and it's, Jim Lachey and Paul are there and Skip Mossick, all these guys. So I'm saying I get these moments once in a while, and sometimes I just go, oh yeah, that was cool, and I forget to relay it to people who actually listen that that actually does happen here. It's not like every sports star you've ever heard of is here. LeBron's not rolling through here anytime soon. But
Tiger Woods has not stopped by the studio yet.
We do have quite a few of those moments where it's like, okay, there's like a bunch of Buckeye people just right here, Buckeye legends that, yes, they're all around, and it's incredible.
I'm glad you brought that up. I really am, because I've said the same thing. I made some kind of comment, and I said hello to all of them and joked about how awesome this was, how we just had a small group of Buckeye royalty there, just a who's who. And they were all kind of clogging the doorway too.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to stop there and just sort of appreciate it for a second. What are we going to do? Like say, Beanie, could you get the hell out of the way, please?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I will. Beanie's so cool. He's such a nice guy, and his kids are going to be in the NFL soon enough.
Beanie was the guy when I was first working here that I had ever experienced where Beanie was still fairly fresh off his NFL days.
Oh, he came right here. Yeah.
And then there was a moment where he was up when you guys were doing your show in the mornings, and he was running from the studio because he had forgotten his headphones, and I think it was about to be it was a minute to go till the airtime of the show, and he comes running down the hallway, and I was walking up the same hallway, and it was Beanie Wells at like 3/4 of a gallop, like he was going, but he was still in regular clothes.
Yes.
And he ran past me, and it was the first moment I'd ever had where I'm like, I know I can't tackle an NFL player. That was the first time I ever realized I don't know how anyone tackles like Beanie Wells. How did that ever happen that someone tackled that guy? When he was running at full speed or even 3/4 speed in the office, I said, I have no idea how anybody stopped that dude. It's unbelievable.
It would be like a funny sort of This Is Sports Center, This Is the Fan type of commercial if we had Andy Katzenmoyer just quickly turn the corner. And he's like wearing a nice dress shirt and glasses, and he's holding some papers, like walking down the hall, and Beanie just kind of smashes into him, and like who wins at the point of attack right there? Is it Beanie like applying the hit, or like Big Cat with his big, broad shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
But we'd have to have Andy like actually wearing his helmet with the visor, which made him the most menacing looking linebacker ever in college football.
There was a cover of
the shoulder pads, the visor, it just did it all.
There was that cover of the Columbus Dispatch they did one year where they were previewing the game, and they had like a special cover for it, and it was just a full bleed photo, and all it was with that face mask with a mirrored look, and then in the mirror of the face mask was Ohio Stadium, and you could see it was like Michigan.
Great.
It just said the game.
It's just iconic.
Yeah, one of the best looks ever.
It's just iconic. But that reminds me.
It happens here. You're walking around, all of a sudden Jim Lachey's like, "Hey, Bone, how's it going?" He just shakes your hand, and when I say shakes your hand, it's as if an oven mitt tried to grab a kitten's paw, and you're just like, yes, we're shaking hands, but this is not an actual handshake because you're so much larger than me.
Real quick, before the I don't think they're still doing this. The Midwest Sports Spectacular, they can't be doing that anymore because we used to do so much stuff with them, and we would do some shows out there. I can remember Tito doing some of the Saturday shows there and talking to Emmitt Smith and guys like that. And I would do an appearance or two, and we weren't broadcasting live, but I did a little thing on an in-house microphone, and I talked to guys like Luke Kuechly that day. Paris Campbell was just going pro. Yeah, like really big time stars or Buckeye athletes that were just turning pro, and before NIL it was a way for them to get some money in their pockets, do some autographs. So Paris was there, and I was there with Sticker Brad, where he is now. I do not know. I think he's moved around
Kansas
like 6 different cities. KC, all right, he's enjoying the barbecue. So it's him and me, and we're kind of in between doing some of the on mic show. And the backstage area is huge. Like there are tables after tables after tables smashed with helmets and memorabilia for the guys to sign. And across the way, I could see like two important people came into the room with their teams around them, like their entourage. I say like 3 or 4 people each for these guys.
Right.
And the two figures that walked into the room were Jim Brown and Pete Rose. And him and me and Brad, we're like 50 yards away. We're on like the other side of these tables.
Yeah.
But they come in the room and they just stop, and they're against the back wall there. And their teams kind of left them. So it was just Jim and Pete. And Pete's wearing this icy white tracksuit.
He loved the icy white. He would wear that white hat too.
Wearing the icy white tracksuit. And we're just watching two of the biggest sports stars in history just share a conversation for 4 or 5 minutes. And they kind of both walk our way because it was where the entrance is to get into the show. And they both just said like a quick hello to us. And Jim Brown just kind of gave me how you doing there, young man? I said, Good, Jim. Good, sir. Nice to see you. And that was really it. But it was just my brain trying to compute how many hits, how many rushing yards, the legacies, the plays between just those two men right there.
And then Sticker Brad went up and was like, "Hey, remember when you played for the Browns? That was all right. That's pretty cool."
So, Pete.
Yes, I do, young man.
Remember the gambling scandal?
You want to talk about that?
Kind of sucks not getting back in baseball, right?
Oh, that's all right. At that point, Pete was probably signing it on a bat for $150, so no problems there.
Oh, man.
All right,
that's cool.
Fat Boy Food tip. Let's do it.
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip. This is dumb. I quit.
All right. We have to start off here. Yelp is apparently just going around all the different food groups. I'm sure they're getting 1 million hits to their website by doing this, but whatever. It sucked us in. Yelp has their list of the top 10 Columbus area donut shops to try. They did pizzas not too long ago. Now they're at donut shops.
Oh, what do we got?
We're going 10 to 1 here. Number
Let's
10,
go.
Donna's Delicious Dozen.
Haven't had them.
5322 North Hamilton Road. I haven't either. Amy's Donuts on Georgesville Road is in at number 9. I have been by that place. I've never been in. It looks like it would be delicious.
Georgesville. Okay, I've
it's
been to
right
another
near the
one
casino.
Near it. Yeah,
it's
but I
near the
haven't had
casino. Resh's Bakery, East Livingston Avenue, east side of town. A legendary bakery. Very good donuts there. I highly agree with that. Buckeye Donuts on North High Street on campus.
Of
Absolutely
course.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Legendary spot.
Yep.
There
Not just the donuts, the food too.
Yes. There is another Buckeye donut.
Not the same thing.
I know it's not, but this is not that one. They're talking about the one on North High Street.
Yeah,
the other
that
one is
one's
down on
on
South High Street.
Yeah.
That's right. And I always find that interesting how they both coexist. I guess they do. It works out. But the Buckeye Donuts on campus, the one they're talking about, number 7. I think it could have been higher than that. Whatever.
Totally.
Honey Dip Donuts on Kenny Road at number 6. I have stopped there before. Very good spot. Looked like maybe at one point it could have been a Jolly Pirate. I'm not sure about that. But
is that on the list?
Well, we're going to get there. Number 5, Duck Donuts, which is a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Duck Donuts. They're great. We're talking chain. This is a chain. I thought we were doing local places, but we got a chain in there.
Panama Ted's probably been to the original one in Duck, North Carolina.
I have been, yeah.
What do you think?
Fantastic.
You love the Duck Donuts, right, Teddy?
Yeah, I love the it's like has the bacon and the maple on it.
Oh, that's the
It has
one.
whatever you want on it.
I'm saying that's the one I like. Yeah,
I agree with you. That's one of their best.
Yeah, they have the
They're
specialty
made
ones.
to order, and every single one is piping hot. That's a special thing about them.
Little Donut Factory at number 4.
That's
in
my
Hilliard.
spot.
You like that place?
Oh, that's the spot.
Yeah,
Shout out to that.
It's in Hilliard, so it makes sense. Donut World Company in Lancaster. I've never been, but it's number 3 on the list.
I wonder if Bobby likes those.
Would have to ask. Yum E Donuts, spelled Yumee Donuts in Sunbury, in at number 2. And number 1, Destination Donuts on North High Street. Not familiar with it. Not saying it's bad. I'm saying I've never heard of it.
Okay, well, there's an egregious omission.
I have 2 issues with this.
Okay,
One is Jolly Pirate. It still exists. This is Jolly Pirate Erasure. How dare you go down to Grove City, get Jolly Pirate. They're, in my opinion, they belong on this list of top 10. The other thing is, if we're going to include Duck Donuts,
where's Krispy Kreme?
Now,
right?
Maybe the reason is because every time you go to the damn Krispy Kreme, it's closed.
They don't have
no
donuts.
But it's Krispy Kreme. If we're talking about good donuts.
The Hilliard one's been pretty good, though, I just have to say.
All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that because I don't know what's going on with some of the other ones. I know the Polaris one is usually pretty good. Common Man goes there often and says, of late, he's had pretty good experience. But I know once or twice he went there, they didn't have stuff. But I mean, sometimes I think the time he went, he was looking for a specific donut, like the pumpkin spice or whatever. He went on a Saturday morning where there was a Buckeye noon game at home. And I said, you probably hit the tailgaters on their way down who just were like, we're going to swing through there, grab 3 dozen donuts, take them to the tailgate, and they cleaned them out.
You got to account for that, though.
I know. You got to plan
That's
for it.
part of it. You got to plan.
I agree. So there you go, Donut. If you have any comments on that, please, instead of going to Yelp, tweet at us, at ManandBone971. I want to know the best donut spot in town.
There's got to be more that we're not thinking of.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a break, come back. Ryan Day had his weekly press conference. We'll play some audio from that for you next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're going to hit some slower traffic on westbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between Westerville and Cleveland Avenue. And you're looking at a 5-minute delay if you need to travel eastbound 70 on the east side between James Road and 270. This report is sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority, your local expert. Is water seeping into your basement? Are your basement walls cracking? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the basement waterproofing experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at ohiobasementauthority.com. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110. bet on all your favorite teams, football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Ohio Basement Authority comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Anthony. If you want to make the best deal in town on a new Honda, make sure you visit my friends at your main Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. And Rich tells me you're going to get 1.90% APR up to 60 months on most new 24s and 25 Hondas. They'll give you the details. Of course, you'll get same-day service, no appointment needed. And how about an extra $1,000 for your trade if you have a 2014 or newer vehicle? All with the great people at your main Honda of Dublin.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned, but Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
If you recently lost health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Marcus when he lost his job, and Keisha when she turned 26 and lost her parents' insurance, and Elena when she went off Medicaid. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A perfect finish to this Tuesday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, light winds and plenty of sunshine. Overnight will fall back down to the low to mid 50s. And after a mild start, back in the mid to upper 70s by Wednesday afternoon. It'll be a little breezy and a few clouds, but otherwise dry. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Objects in radio may be dumber than they appear. This is Man and Bone.
You can tweet the program at Man and Bone 971. You can text the program 614-787-3093 to text our burner phone. We've got Ryan Day sound in a minute, but Timmy Hall's got something to tell you, Tim.
Yes, I do, Bone. Thank you. I want to tell you about my friends at Tri-State Men's Health. Maybe you're a guy in your 30s heading towards the big 40 like me. Maybe you've experienced some of these issues. Maybe you're putting on some LBs. Maybe you're not as productive at the gym as you once were. Maybe your sleep patterns are getting a little bit poor. You wake up and you just feel tired, or when you get off from work, you're just too tired to get to the end of the road, to get to the end of the night. That was the thing for me, just zonked out on the couch at 9:30. Sad or depressed, libido's decreased, you might be experiencing low T, low testosterone. This fit the bill for me, so I saw Tri-State Men's Health. They had these simple little ACE shots. They just hit me right there, and I go, ee-ow, and it's done. It's like a millisecond, and then it's over. And then before you know it, you start feeling more energized. You start feeling more like you did in your younger 20s. So that's what I was looking for. They helped me. I think they could help you. So check them out, tristatemenshealth.com. They have lovely locations in Central Ohio, the two right here, the one in Hilliard off of Cemetery Road. Fish lives right there. You can say hi to me. We can high five. We can go have lunch with Fish. It'll be awesome. We'll all be happy, and we'll have high testosterone, and we'll have so much energy. We'll just be the life of the party.
There you go.
Simple as that.
Love it.
Tell them I sent you.
All
and
right.
Mike.
Ryan Day was at the podium today talking to the media. Here's what he said in his press conference. First thing we've got for you. He said he wants to get more pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, us too. Let's see what he had to say.
Certainly, we want to get more pressure on the quarterback. There's no question. And it's the coach's job to make sure that we put our players in a situation and environment to be successful. So that's the first thing we've got to look at. And then it's the player's job to go do it and execute it. So all those things were part of the conversation this past week. And, we definitely need to do a better job there.
So that was certainly something that I'm glad to hear he's understanding. It's about
me too.
Getting it done.
Me too. It's we can focus on, the lack of statistics, or we could just focus on the fact that there wasn't even pressure on Dylan Gabriel.
No.
So it's one thing if you're going to win games and you're going to have a dominant looking defense, but say you go a game where you don't register a sack, but you gave up under 300 yards and you gave up under 20 points or so, but that obviously was not the case against Oregon. Nothing good really happened from that side of the ball.
Ryan Day was also asked about Denzel Burke's performance in this game. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, that's definitely, part of the conversation. And, you have to decide what gives you the best chance to win in that moment. And decision was made. And so, we evaluate that and figure out if that's the right thing moving forward. But we believe in Denzel. We think he's a great player. And he did have a couple plays there that weren't good. And he would tell you the same thing. And so he came out last week and had a good week of practice, needs another one this week, and he'll rebound and play well this week.
Now, I don't know how long the Ryan Day bullwhip will be able to play in this next clip, but what I want to tell you is the next clip is 1 minute and 10 seconds, and it involves a subject that I think every Buckeye fan has kind of been wanting to hear Ryan Day talk about.
Okay, which one?
That is the little issue between Jim Knowles and Larry Johnson.
Aha.
This was a question that came up in the press conference about, are they on the same page with this defense? Here's how he answered that. And again, I mind you, this is a long answer, but stick with it to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, for sure. I know that there was a point maybe early on when Jim got here where there was conversation about the jack and all that. But our goal is to put the best, 4 rushers in the game, or, if there's 5, maybe there's 5 or whatever it is. And so that decision's been made. And, we reevaluate those things, when you have to, certainly after a loss, but even during a bye week, you're going to do something like that. But no, I think, I've watched closely, and I think that they're both on the same page. And, we all want, this week especially, we've wanted to, look at everything, and nobody's feeling good about anything right now. It's just, coming off of that thing, there's a lot of guys on edge, and that's the way it should be, after a loss. But no, they're on the same page. I think that's the point. And I've been in there the last week a little bit more and just evaluating everything. And I think the one thing is, there can be conversation in the room, but when you leave the room, everybody's on the same page, and that's happening. I'm seeing that. But, it's again, our job as coaches to make sure we're putting them in the best position to be successful. And you got to evaluate it. You got to be honest, and you got to make sure you're talking the truth in those moments. And I think that's happened the last week, and I'm excited to get back on the field here.
That's a long answer to say that. Yeah, they're on the same page.
It really is, right? I think What does it say to you when you can go on for a minute and 10 seconds?
I think
that and end there.
I will, again, on this show, we will rip Ryan Day when necessary. I will give him the benefit of the doubt in that on that answer, he's probably thinking, I've got to answer the media in front of me, the fans that are represented by this media, the parents of these players themselves, these guys that are my coworkers that I'm coaching with, that I selected to do this job, and everybody else who's, kind of paying attention to the situation, trying to walk that tightrope where you're saying, hey, it's got to get better. But these guys, they work together. It was a little difficult at first, but nobody's happy with how it's going. Like, he's trying to make everybody happy there, which I don't envy his position, but that is kind of how it goes in Ohio State. When you lose a game, even if it's 1 point on the road to the best team in the country, you're supposed to be the one in that number one spot. You're supposed to be the one winning that game.
I don't know if any of us expected some of these rumors to be spoken about publicly, right? Because if there is some kind of riff or disagreement with the way things are operationally between defensive coordinator and defensive line coach, who is one of the most veteran defensive line coaches and positional coaches in college football, right? It's not something that you would really want to broadcast. Even if there was an issue, you would want to do your best. I'm not even saying cover it up, but you've got to CEO that thing, Right. You've almost got to put the PR hat on and not necessarily steer it away, but acknowledge some things like you did. Everybody can see that our pass rush was struggling, and we're going to do the best to get it fixed going forward. And how about the other aspect of it too, where you've got Nick Saban and your guitarist for John Tesh talking about the antiquated pass rush that this Buckeye defense has right now, and he didn't really choose to fire back. He kind of just said,
Here's what Ryan Day said about that. He actually did answer a question. Here's what he said about Nick Saban's comments on the pass rush.
Well, when it doesn't work, it's accurate. It's not working. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. There's different strategies on how to go do that. But when you have the results that you do right now, then certainly it's not working, and that has to change.
Ryan Day's probably sitting there just like, this MFer is making $5 or $10 million a year, whatever he is now, to just sit there and critique me when last year he was doing the same job.
It's a great life, isn't it? And you know what? When he was in that job, he won 7 national championships.
Right.
So he can say whatever the hell he wants.
That's right.
Obviously he can. And he said, it's accurate for now,
it is.
Right?
Yeah,
and
until they fix it.
It's not working.
Here's one more on the defense. Now, there's been a lot of rumors about injuries. I believe Lathan Ransom's name has come up, right, with injury concerns.
Right now, you're pretty much looking at Josh Simmons, who's going to be out, and then tight end Will Kazmarek and Quinshon Judkins, also the running back. Those are kind of the three that
there are concerns, right, about Lathan Ransom? Because here's why I'm saying
been
this.
Discussed.
I haven't listened to this clip yet. What it does say here is next guy's up at safety. So let's see what Ryan Day had to say about that. I don't know if this is directly in relation to Lathan Ransom or something else, but let's hear it.
Yeah, Jalen McLean's done a nice job. Malik Hartford's done a nice job. Those guys, have Malik's played some before, and Jalen's a good young player. So I'd probably say those guys. If you're looking at some backups there, it'd be those guys.
Right.
Well, he was asked directly about Lathan Ransom, and he declined comment.
Okay.
So it was about suffering some kind of injury in practice last week. He didn't go there. Didn't want to say anything about it. About Quinshon, he said the hand procedure is not going to cause him to miss any time. He said it didn't affect him during the Oregon game, so seems to be good there. But obviously, it's a big one with Josh Simmons. He's out for the season.
Last one, quick one from Ryan Day on the secondary.
We probably have more depth at corner than at safety, but I feel like we do have enough guys back there to get what we need to get done.
All right. I mean, he's saying it without saying it, that it seems like there's going to be some tests to that depth.
He said they were thinking about putting Jermaine Matthews in for Denzel, but they didn't do it, obviously.
Right. All right, there you go, Ryan Day, giving a pretty thorough press conference today. You knew it was going to be a tough one, and it was going to be a lot of defense. He had a week to prepare for it, so I think he answered it well. Rapid fire coming up next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
Slow-moving traffic is causing a 10-minute delay on northbound 71 on the north side between I-70 and 11th Avenue. And you're going to hit another 10-minute delay if you're on southbound 315 from Kinnear Road to Town Street. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Football fans, are you ready to score big this NFL season?
Hey, it's T-Bone to tell you that Bud Light and 97.1 The Fan have teamed up for the ultimate football face-off. Join us each week for football face-off events and your chance to win a trip to Vegas where you'll compete for the grand prize.
A trip for two to New Orleans or the Super Bowl.
Drink Bud Light, enjoy the games, and take your shot at football glory.
This week, join me on Sunday at Pastimes in New Albany. I'll be there from 3 to 5 p.m., straddling the Browns and then the Bengals game to give you a shot at going to the Super Bowl.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If your fall is anything like the people in my neighborhood, your weekends are full of driving kids to endless soccer things. So if you're going to be on the road, be as comfortable as possible. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend a new Lexus. That's not true, but I recommend it. Deal time, 2.99% finance rate on a 2024 RX. That's madness. 4.49% finance rate for a 2025 NX. And you can get up to $5,000 lease cash for a 2024 RX. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
It's Rocktober, baby!
It's Rocktober at Lindsay Honda.
Just announced for the rest of October, we're lowering the finance rate to 0.9% on every new Lindsay Honda. And you still get the Lindsay Honda difference. A $1,295 value package included with every vehicle purchase.
This is it.
Turn up the noise with Lindsay Honda.
With approved credit on select in-stock 24 and 25 Honda models. Dealer contribution may affect consumer cost.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just be glad you aren't as stupid as these two.
Oh, yes.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Hope your Wednesday is, not Wednesday. What am I talking about? It's Tuesday. I'm all confused here.
We were just talking about.
You said Monday earlier, too, by the way.
Did I say Monday?
Yeah.
Jen Winters just popped into the studio.
Oh,
she's a huge fan of the Wild Card Wednesday episode. We were just talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably what your mind was on tomorrow.
I'm just trying. You know what, though?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No excuses, Timmy.
We got all the time in the world. We got an hour and a half.
By the way,
it's an eternity.
You know, Common Man and T-Bone, where we like to go whenever it's time for us to do our banging, and that involves sports gambling. It's one place only. The ESPN. What? That's ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. We love them. It's a great spot. 12,000 square feet of nothing but gaming action. You've got tables. You have got chairs. You sit your butt in those chairs. You watch all the sports you want to on their giant TVs.
Are there ladders?
No, there's no I don't know about those ladders.
There's tables and chairs. I thought there might be ladders too, and then we can have a good time.
The Dudley boys are not there, as far as I know. However, maybe they show up. I don't know. What I do know is they've got all that, plus all the food and beverage you want, while you're sitting there watching your favorite game. Maybe you're standing up and pacing like Scotty Vegas because he's put way too much money on way too much tennis or something like that. All I know is you can find all the gaming action at one place, and the place we like to go, ESPN Bet Columbus. The sportsbook there at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Ready to do rapid fire, Tim?
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Rapid fire.
Sponsored by Custom Air. Custom Air. Custom Solutions. Custom Comfort.
Take it away, Teddy.
Rapid fire number one.
Rapid fire. I'm sorry, rapid fire number one. I'm all out of sorts today, Ted. Go ahead.
Has Deshaun Watson played his last snap for the Browns?
I mean, do you want this to be really rapid fire? Yes. I mean, I can tell you why. I think it's clear that he's not going to be back for at least a year. It's also pretty obvious that he's terrible when he is healthy. And even if miraculously he figures out how to make these plays and do everything like he did, what will this be, like 4 or 5 years ago, back when he was somewhat good? That does not seem like a very good thing you could bet on or be very confident in if you're the Browns. So you have to make plans for next year, and they can't involve him being your starter. So I think he's done. I think they have to find a way to try to get him to move on.
I think even for the Browns, it's still a no.
It has to be.
I mean, I'm sorry. Has he played his last snap for the Browns? Yes. The answer is yes.
They're not going to have him back. Right.
And the Browns would try everything they could to give him another opportunity, but I think it's too far gone now. Yeah. I believe he's done.
Rapid fire number 2, Teddy.
How many Big Ten teams do you think will make the college football playoffs, and which teams will they be?
Oregon, Ohio State, I think, are fairly clearly, assuming Ohio State can take care of business the rest of the way out. That would then involve, though, Penn State having a loss. That would involve Indiana having a loss if Ohio State does that. So that would mean then maybe you get one of those two in. If, let's say, Indiana has a loss to Ohio State and that's it.
Ooh.
If Penn State maybe has an unblemished record other than Ohio State and that's it.
Yeah, they'll get in.
I'm thinking it's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3, too. We would love to talk about Indiana. They're 13th in the AP poll right now, but as far as what's their best opportunity to stay up there, that's going to be the game against Ohio State. It's going to be close. I think it would be close if they could wind up going 11-1, but smart money, I'm going to go with 3.
Indiana and Penn State, for what it's worth, do not play each other. So They could both end with one loss to Ohio State.
They could both be 11-1.
I guess then it would be 4, but I think that's highly unlikely. I'm going to say 3 is the number.
It's going to depend on how many SEC teams they won.
And it's not a given either of those teams lose to Ohio State. I'm just pointing out that that's what we're hoping for as Buckeye
I'll say
fans.
Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. I'll stop it there.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. Rapid fire number 3, Teddy.
Yesterday was Back to the Future Day, October the 21st. In the movie series, Marty McFly, he goes 30 years to the past, 30 years to the future, and then 100 years to the past. If you had to visit one of those 3 times right now, starting from like today's year, then which time are you choosing? So that would be 1994.
It's 30 years in the past from today.
Yeah, then 2054, 30 years in the future, or 100 years in the past, 1924.
Well, we just saw that on Saturday with the Illinois-Michigan football game, so I feel like I've been there already.
And you would be like yourself now going back.
Okay,
so it wouldn't be like, any other time.
Oh, you wouldn't be.
Like,
so
I could hang out with my great Pop-Pop back in 1924.
Yeah.
Actually, my grandmother just passed away this year. She was born in 1924. She was 99 when she passed, but she was born 100 years ago. So I could have
taken care of infant great-grandmother.
Yeah, I could have. I could have. You know what, though? I could have seen. I knew her mother. Great Grammy was what I called her. I could have gone back in time and seen Great Grammy when she was like in her late teens, early 20s.
Early 20s.
But you know what, though? I'm probably going to do that. I just don't know how I would handle like cars being what they were back
Model
then.
T
and,
Fords.
I don't know if I could live in that
step
world.
on the pedal.
Yeah, I would only want to be there
power
for.
steering.
I'd be there for a few hours and be like, "Get me out of here."
I would
done.
I would say the future though, because we can't know what it's going to be like. We can't know what advancements we're going to make in technology just to walk around for a day or a week, whatever that is, to see what we're doing, how we're banging. I would like to hang out with some family members, but am I allowed to even discuss
that's
that?
a whole nother,
I don't know what the rules are.
now you're breaking the space-time continuum.
Do I have to just sort of be just some weird guy that shows up and wants to be friends with you? I don't know. So take me 30 years in the future. Let's see how bad Steven Spielberg would mess that up as well.
There you go. Rapid fire number 4.
If you could pick any 4 items from any fast food restaurant to make up your perfect meal, then what 4 items are you choosing?
Switch the question.
Yeah, this was coming.
Switch of the question.
Here's what I've got. I'm going to go double Whopper. I'm going to go curly fries from Arby's. I'm going to go McDonald's chicken nuggets. And then Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard. Those are my 4.
I'll go with a double quarter pounder with cheese. I'll go with a 6-piece Raising Cane's fingers. I'll go a large McDonald's fry and a large Frosty.
Like that. Teddy, did you do any of these, or do you have yours? Or
I had mentioned it last.
Oh, that's right. You're done.
But
You're already out.
Yeah.
Rapid fire number 5.
And I didn't know what I was talking about. No. All right. Today it's National Nut Day. So if you could only eat one type of nut for the rest of your life, then which nut are you choosing?
Spanish red peanuts.
Oh, like they put on the hot sundae, hot fudge sundae from Dairy Queen.
Oh, they're poppable.
Yeah?
They're delicious.
I got to go with the cashew.
Okay.
Big fan of the cashew. It's very fatty, I'm told.
It's a healthy nut. It's a good healthy nut.
I like a cashew, though. I remember hearing Larry David once where Jerry Seinfeld was asking him on comedians in cars getting coffee.
Okay.
Because Larry David famously does not, he does not really let himself go. He likes to just eat very minimal, very healthy. And so Jerry asked him, like, what is you just pulling the pin? What's a day look like for you? Because they were looking at a stack of pancakes. Yeah. And Larry said, people eat this? And he's like, yeah, people eat. What is your day of where you're like going to town? He said,
cashews.
Probably just a bag of cashews.
Wow.
I thought,
yeah,
I can't relate to this. If I'm eating a bag of cashews, I presume I'm being somewhat healthy. As for my snacking.
Yes. You're
as
like
opposed
trying
to
to
eat a bag of potato chips.
Trying to impress Matty Ice with that.
No kidding. Exactly right. Good rapid fire, Teddy.
That's good, man.
It was nice. You know what? Not your best. It was all right. Don't get a big head. It was okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was the best one ever.
I liked it.
Speaking of not their best, Michigan has some problems. We're going to talk about it next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch out for an accident that's causing some delay if you're on Dublin Road east of Grandview Avenue, and you're going to run into a slowdown on southbound 71 on the north side between 670 and East Broad Street. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roof Revivers. Whether you need a quick repair or a full replacement, Roof Revivers has you covered. Visit roofrevivers.com today. Roof Revivers. We fix leaky roofs. The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
Fall is upon us and winter will be here before you know it. Don't put off your roofing project any further. Call the professionals at Newman Roofing. Let Newman Roofing help get that roof checked off your to-do list before winter. Call Newman Roofing at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Gambling too much? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Mary Heben, where we offer in-person, virtual, and group options. We're here for you no matter what, and that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Every time I go to get groceries, it's so expensive. It's all changed so much in such a short time because of the Democrats' inflation. As a single mom, sometimes it's hard to put food on the table for my family. Sherrod Brown has only made the problem worse. Brown put Kamala's radical agenda before us and voted for her Inflation Act. Now we're stuck with the consequences, and prices are at a 40-year high. But it's an election year. He's pretending to fight for us. Well, where was Brown's help before? Sherrod Brown's shown he will only hurt families like mine. That's why I'm supporting Bernie Moreno. Together with President Trump, Moreno will fight to lower prices on groceries for families and stop Brown and Kamala's skyrocketing inflation. I trust Bernie Moreno and President Trump to always put America's families first.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every single night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I get it. But there are alternatives to the CPAP machine, and Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and stops your snoring. What a concept. It's quick, comfortable, and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and he has a track record to prove it. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. And as the end of the year approaches, a lot of people have exceeded their medical deductibles, which means less out of pocket for you. Don't delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or you can visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Their BMI is higher than their IQ. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Welcome in. Hope your Tuesday's going well. Timmy Hall filling in for Common Man today.
Thank you, Bone.
It's been Timmy's fighting through it today.
No.
As we're walking in here, he's like, I got a little tickle in the nose. And the next thing you know, now it's a faucet and he's just in here.
No,
he's got it out, man.
No.
Yes, you are.
Don't tell anybody.
Why not?
Because
you're
then
doing
I'm gonna be putting the stink on everybody.
No, you're not putting the stink on everybody. You're doing your job.
I've got that thing in my nose that I feel like I'm gonna sneeze every second. So if it looks or sounds like that today, that's why. It's because I've been fighting. You know, sometimes you're holding a fart, right? And you could just see in somebody's body language how that's happening. I am holding a sneeze. And it's hard to do a talk show when you're fighting that urge. I just want like someone to bring some cracked pepper and put it right in front of my nose.
Dude.
Or give me some pencil shavings and just let me go to town. I just want to.
You want to get that sneeze
like
out
10
there
times.
You know,
really get it out.
I don't know if this was related or not, but I know that I went and my wife, we were, you know, when COVID hit, we were doing the at-home COVID test. You know, they send you the thing and you could swab your own nose. And
you
now
don't go halfway up because you're too afraid to stick it way up there.
Here's the thing. Now I've done it since then, and all these things are like you don't have to put it. They're like it is literally a game of just barely put just the tip. You know, you just barely get in there.
It really is a game of
like
just
you just
the tip.
swab it around there, you're fine. But back then, the instructions that we understood and that my wife took very much to heart was
touch the brain.
Yes,
yeah,
go all the way up. So she gave me a COVID test. Actually, it was the day when you called me and said, "Hey, buddy, hate to break this to you, I'm sick." And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And so then I got a COVID test. We had one at home. And she jammed that sucker all the way up my nose. I swear I saw the cotton swab in my eye. Like, I'm just like, how far up did you go? For like a solid week after that, every time I had to like inhale through my nose, instantly it was like, achoo, like 20 sneezes in a row. I couldn't stop. And I swear to you, she hit like some nerve or something up there. And it wasn't right for a solid week.
Well,
so.
I don't want that, but I want that.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna get
what
you
I
something.
need.
I'm gonna get you something and stick it right up there.
Fresh cracked pepper.
How do you feel about a pretzel rod just shoved up there? Get you a couple of those.
A thick one.
Yeah,
right?
oh yeah,
just
the big long ones, not the little tiny ones.
Just stuff the nostril so then
I mean shove it up there.
Have you ever incidentally sneezed while you're driving? And just completely obliterated your dashboard. Everybody's been like driving home, right? Where they've been like a little bit sniffly or had the runny nose and you're fighting it back and you're in traffic or whatever. I did it. Last time I did this, I was a passenger and Sarah was driving and I just, for whatever reason, I was out of tissues and it was going to be, I mean, I knew I had to like put my hands up there and bite it. But the sneeze came about a split second before I was ready, and I kind of put my hands up there, but the rest of it just escaped and just shot all the snot and saliva just shot forward to the dashboard and the windshield.
Not only have I done that.
Totally great.
I've then been stupid enough to then instinctively be like, oh, gosh. And then I hit the windshield like spray to like spray off and clean the windshield. And it's like, dummy, it's inside. It's not going to do anything. Probably shouldn't have admitted that on the radio, but that's how stupid I was one time when I sneezed like that. And I was like, oh, I can't see what's going on. And then I realized that won't work, you idiot. And it only got worse.
Yeah, well, I'll be Cloroxing this entire workstation
That's okay.
today.
You're fine. Michigan, they wish their issue was just a few sniffles. They may have it worse than you do, Timmy. They have not yet named a starting quarterback out of their game against Michigan State. Sharon Moore is trying to figure out who's best to put in there. Jack Tuttle, who played in their most recent game, which, of course, they didn't do well. They lost to Illinois, but he finished with 200-plus passing yards, season-high total. It's 209 specifically. And that's a season high for Michigan, 209 passing yards. So they're trying to figure out if they should go with him or if they should go back to Alex Orji, who they've benched after losing to Washington. And they started off with Davis Warren, who was a former walk-on who got benched after throwing 3 picks against Arkansas State. So not a ton of great options there at quarterback.
Listen,
it's not going to get better.
How is this okay? Let's really talk about this, because if you have now made that climb back to where they are, obviously had a little help from my friends in terms of cheating and sign stealing. We all know that at this point. But they just had an undefeated season and won the national championship. And they've won 3 straight games against their rival. And they've been doing it with some really physical play in the trenches too.
Yeah.
We've seen that. But how is this acceptable to be at that level of the game and to just be finishing an era where the guy who was at the top was a quarterback guy? And we're talking about one decent quarterback in J.J. McCarthy? One guy
and even
that was draftable in the entire run, and the second he's gone, it's right back to this crap. What about being big bad Michigan again and attracting all the best talent in the country? How? I don't care. You cannot give me lost a lot of guys at a national championship team. Lost a lot of guys. No, you don't lose guys. I mean, obviously you lose guys.
They did.
But the next players are always there, ready to go. If you truly have made that turn, if you want to point the finger at Ohio State, and I know you do, and you should, right? Because the Buckeyes start every year ranked where? In the top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And they have been trying to be the last team standing, and they haven't been able to for the last 10 years. But you cannot look me in the eye and say that this is cool, that you can never find mainstay quarterbacks.
No, I will say with Michigan, I feel like Jim Harbaugh came in there trying to make it all about him. He did make it all about him. He was willing to cut any corners necessary, including getting someone who could steal signs to help him get what he needed, which was the national championship, to make him feel complete. And then the second that was done, the NFL came calling. He said, great, I got you that national championship.
Got to get out now.
It was for him. It wasn't for Michigan. It wasn't all about this great Michigan man caring about his. No, it's about his ego. And the second he left, he said, hey, sorry, Sharon Moore, good luck with that. Have fun. And then off to the NFL he goes. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore. He left that program in a worse spot than even when, remember how Florida used to get all the time? They would rip Urban Meyer for how he left that program. Yeah. It's worse than that.
How could it be this bad at QB? There are 3 guys here at Ohio State that would probably work up there. 4, maybe 5.
Yeah,
maybe all 5.
And they know that, and they are not happy about it. But they also would say, well, we're just going to go polish this national championship trophy again and pretend like we don't care. They'll care in a couple years when they still suck.
It's embarrassing to be right off a national championship and you have no idea who to play at quarterback.
Well, how do they not land a transfer either? I mean,
it doesn't transfer, it's not acceptable.
No, it's not. Some former Reds will be involved in one of the biggest sports stories in the world. In the world? In the year of sports, I guess I should say.
The world.
In the world, whatever. That's coming up next. Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You're looking at a slowdown if you're on westbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between 161 and Westerville. And there's a 5-minute delay on southbound 270 on the West Outer Belt between Cemetery Road and I-70. This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to TriStateMen'sHealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Your small business can save big with the SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com. That's 844-MEDOhio.com. Anthem's SACA benefit plan. 844-MEDOhio.com.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help ease your oil change-anxiety. Picture expert technicians who are quick but not rushed. When you hear the bell, breathe in and out. Now, let go of your oil change-anxiety. Visit Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and find automotive peace. No appointment needed.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Barack Obama. Ohio, you know about hard work. The kind it takes to run a business, feed your family, and help your neighbors. Sherrod Brown knows about it too. Sherrod works hard to deliver for Ohio, but he also respects the hard work that you do each and every day. And in the Senate, he's fighting to protect the dignity of that work. He's keeping jobs from being shipped overseas. He's taking on corporations that gambled away pensions and jacked up prices while raking in record profits. And he's a champion for freedom, whether it's the right to vote or the right of women to make their own healthcare decisions. Ohio, we can't afford to lose Sherrod's voice in the Senate. We need him to keep working hard for you. So make sure to vote by November 5th.
I'm Sherrod Brown running for Senate. I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Sherrod Brown.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Blue Jackets wrap up the homestand hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight at Nationwide Arena. 7:30 face-off right here on the Fan. Jackets today put defenseman Eric Gudbranson, on IR after he underwent shoulder surgery. At his weekly press conference today, Ohio State coach Ron Day confirming that left tackle Josh Simmons will be out the rest of the year with a knee injury. He also talked about how it's up to everybody to do what they need to do to fix things following the loss to Oregon.
You have to make sure we got the right people in the right spots. I think we do. Maybe we can tweak a few things, but I think we have the right people in the right spots. Then it comes down to scheme. I think there's some things that we can do better, for sure, putting guys in better situations to be successful. And then there's the coaching, and I think we definitely can do a better job there.
Buckeyes on the practice field getting ready for Nebraska. This update brought to you by Dormar Heating and Air Conditioning. Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarheating.com. Breaking sports news right here on The Fan.
Extra large, extra stupid. This is Man and Bone.
Hope your Tuesday's going well. Timmy Hall is in. Panama Ted is in. I am T-Bone. We have a game show coming up 5:34. Game this week is actually listener submitted. Taylor, I believe, sent us the game. It is horror film or hardcore band, like a heavy metal band. So I'll give you that, Timmy. I know you like the scary movies.
I do like that.
What's the one, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what's the one that you said Like, of the ones you've been watching, you watched like 20 or so.
I've been watching a ton, and I've been watching some of the ones that have multiple, like The Purge. There's like 4 of those. Halloween's, there's 15 of those by now.
What's been the one that you're like, this is great? Like, this is the number one movie I've enjoyed so far. These, 20, 25 you've watched.
I really do love the original Chucky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just so... It's good and bad at the same time. Panama Ted, I know Bone is afraid of these. Do you watch any of the horror movies, like original Chucky? Do you think that one's kind of funny, stupid, good in a way?
I used to. I haven't watched it in years, and but I'm not big on all the Halloween movies or horror movies. I don't. It's not that they frighten me, but they just don't excite me. I do enjoy the original Halloween. That's probably my favorite one.
Okay, yeah, that is a classic.
Myers, yeah.
Original Halloween and the second Halloween are classic. I'll tell you another one too. It's a newer one. It came out in 2008. Liv Tyler is in it. Actually, we were just talking about Always Sunny. Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny? He's actually in this movie as a cameo. It's called The Strangers. It's about these. Oh. It's about, yes.
Nope.
This one's scary because it's more real. Like, it's just real people, 2 creepy girls that wear masks. One's called Dollface and one's called Pinup Girl. And then the big, weird dude who's like 6'2" that just wears a creepy, like burlap sack mask with a face on it.
I know, Timmy. Guys who are 6'2" just weird me out. They're so weird.
Yeah, I'm not that big.
Oh, you're not 6'2"?
Yeah, I'm not that big. I'm not going to swing an axe into your face just because I don't like you.
Ugh.
But that one, they just start knocking on their door and just menacing them. They're just 2 people that I think were in the middle of a breakup, staying at their at the guy's parents' house in the middle of the woods. And they're just 3 people that start screwing with them, and it's very terrifying. And they're knocking on the door and making noises outside their house, and just eventually
it's a no from me, dog.
They do bad things.
It's just not my thing.
It's not gonna. It's good though. It's pretty terrifying.
I remember being a kid, and I'm pretty sure it was the Chucky movie when we went to see. You could verify this, I guess, by seeing what else was in the box office at the time. We went to see Home Alone in the theater at the Super Saver Cinema over on Bryce Road. Back at the old Scarborough Mall is what it used to be called. Over there by
Scarborough Mall.
Yeah, over by Penny's Outlet, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was back when I was banging.
Back when you were banging.
That was where we went to go banging. That was Just for Feet was over there. It was a shoe store with a basketball court in it.
Sure, yeah.
It was everything. Anyway.
Classic Columbus.
We go into this movie theater, and this is when, in the 90s, when movie theaters were everything. This was a budget $1 Super Saver Cinema. They were like the second run movie theater.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We go in there.
They were great.
They had like a pathway to where the theater was. It had lights all the way around it, like strobing, like following you as you walked.
Oh.
It looked like futuristic to me as a little kid.
Sure.
We went there to see Home Alone. But as we walked by, on the wall of where we had to turn to go into the movie theater, they had a Chucky poster up.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Chucky. It was a scary movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was that. And so I'm
red-headed doll. He's an ugly, hideous doll.
So then I'm talking to my mom and dad, and I'm like, are you sure we're in the right theater? Because I, under no circumstances, wanted to see anything to do with scary movies, even as a kid. And they're like, yes, we bought a ticket. It's Theater 7. This is Theater 7 or whatever it was. And I'm like, are you sure we're in the right theater? And they're like, yes. And so then the entire time of the previews, I am almost about to pass out. I am so nervous. That's when I know it started. It had to have started then because I was terrified back then. And that's, again, not the scariest movie you could ever see. It's a creepy little doll that says a bunch of goofy phrases. He's not even that scary. That's that scary.
Well,
that
right.
creepy.
I mean, and that's what's fun about Chucky is that you fantasize about if you were put into any horror movie situation, you would want to be put into a Chucky situation. Because you would want to prove that you aren't going to get got by some stupid little doll. But I know he's supposed to have...
I don't think I'd want to prove anything.
He's supposed to have man strength, but it's basically like in the beginning of the movie, the murderer psychopath guy does some spell because he's about to die.
Yes,
and he transfers himself into one of these Playtime dolls. But he's only like 5'10" or whatever. He's a maniac. But
yeah, what a wuss.
It's not like you couldn't overpower that guy. And the fact that you have a height advantage like that over this thing, forget about the strength.
Jason's got the strength of men, millions, thousands of men. Like, he's such a powerful figure, you can't kill him.
He's a mystical guy. Yeah. He lives under the water for 7 years, and that doesn't kill him. a boat battery falls down to the bottom of the lake and zaps him back to life.
Charges him up. Let's go.
Charges him up, and he's ready to go.
So speaking of ready to go, tonight there is something on the docket that I am excited about. I've been talking about it all day. It is a thing. I'm wearing a hat. You know what it is. Anybody who follows sports knows what today is, and hopefully you're excited about it. The NBA is back. I don't know when they're starting on NBC, but tonight it's NBA action is back. 2 games. The second one has some intrigue, and it involves former Cincinnati Reds because the Griffies will be there. This is LeBron James with the Lakers taking on Minnesota Timberwolves. The Lake Show, of course, also has Bronny, drafted this year purely on his merits as a basketball player, Timmy. Purely on his merit.
Deserves to be there. Deserves the opportunity.
Anyway, if they are in a game together, they, of course, would be the, father-son duo, first father-son duo, I believe, in NBA history to do that. But Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. will be there in case that happens to witness that history tonight. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. Ken Griffey Jr. said first father and son to play baseball, now the first father and son to play basketball. It's a big deal for my dad and I to be there. We made history. Now we get to watch history. That's what's going to be cool about it.
It is. It is a big deal. And Bone, we know the drill here. We've looked at what his college career was on merit. They're taking a flyer on Bronny. And he's there, obviously, because of this opportunity. Even so, I still think it's pretty cool. I can compartmentalize that, and LeBron James being, in my opinion, the second greatest basketball player to ever pick up a rock, and to be here in 2024 and to have a chance. I mean, his son he's an athletic son of a gun, and this guy can get up and down a basketball court. And from the second he became a sophomore in high school, you started to see that he really was a talented basketball player that would have a chance to be a big-time college player and then earn his way into being a pro. And we're here, and if it happens, it's going to be quite a story about it, and the Griffies are there to take it in.
I will tell you this, because, trust me, I'm as cynical on a lot of things as anyone, and I do think that there's no way you can spin this, even though J.J. Redick wants to. New Lakers coach J.J. Redick, in case you're not paying attention. He's the head man there. He's trying to say this is like, no, you earned your way onto this team, all this stuff. That's fine. We know he's not getting drafted if LeBron's not his dad. I want to ask this question, though, and you feel free to answer, Timmy. Is it wrong that LeBron, threw his weight around and said, let's make this happen? His son is not someone who's never played basketball. His son is not someone who is a guy who just doesn't have any athletic ability. He has athletic ability, but as we saw at USC last year, this is a barely rotation guy in college. This is a guy who's playing 15, 20 minutes a night in college. He's not what you typically profile as an NBA guy. But LeBron is saying, please make this happen so I can have this historic moment.
In this one case,
I kind of understand that.
I do too. I am going to show some understanding here. And look, LeBron's a transcendent athlete. He's a generational athlete. He's going to be one of the most important athletes this century. The Lakers didn't have to play ball with him. It's their choice.
They didn't have to, but
their choice. They could do it. And I'm sure LeBron probably was going to walk if they weren't going to be willing to do that. They did it. You could say how wrong that is, but
here's what I'll go.
He's LeBron James, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying if I'm a dad and I was LeBron James, I would do the exact same thing. Because I don't view that as I'm giving my kid an NBA career. No, you're giving your kid a chance to play with you in an NBA game that you've wanted to do probably more than he ever has.
Probably.
And then after that happens, it's on the kid.
Exactly. Once this experiment is over, the Lakers aren't just going to keep paying him and paying him and paying him just because his last name is James. He's going to have to be a great basketball, and it's only going to be about that as soon as this cool little story, which I'm pretty sure lasts for just this season. It's it. It's just this season. It probably only lasts a month or two because if Bronny really can't carry his weight, a roster spot in the NBA is really important. It's critical.
But also on that front, how many guys have you seen in the second round who get drafted and then where he got drafted, like 55 or whatever.
They never make it.
Never make the team.
EJ
never get a
Liddell's having a hard time.
Yeah, and that's
he got
a guy
injured and hanging around. He was a really good-looking player.
A late first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he slid to the second. And
early
that
second.
surprised us. That surprised us that he did.
I'm saying it is hit or miss anyway on lottery picks. So, yeah, if you want to take a flyer on LeBron James's kid because LeBron James asked you to and you're the Lakers, I don't think that's a bad deal. Now, again, you can't sunk cost on that. You don't then go, we got to make this work for 3 years. No, I mean, at some point, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But tonight, it'll be a historic night. You can not like that. I totally get that, too. I'm just saying, I'll be watching.
Me too.
I will want to see the history.
I think this is cool.
Even the worst owner in sports knows that grass is better than turf. I'll explain that next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
We've got a 5-minute delay due to an accident that's blocking the right lane on westbound 70 downtown near Livingston Avenue. It is stop and go from the 71 East Split. And we also have a 5-minute delay on westbound 670 between 71 and 315. This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip to a postseason game, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
QC Kinetics not only has the latest non-invasive treatments for joint pain relief, but they also have one of the most respected names in sports medicine, serving as their medical director. That's Dr. Ray Tesner.
As the founder of Sports Medicine Grant and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon, it's exciting to be involved with the latest advances in regenerative medicine and QC Kinetics.
Well, QC Kinetics is making a huge difference in the quality of my life and others as well.
As folks already know, Bobby Carpenter and Sat Sullinger are sports legends in Columbus. QC Kinetics has already made a big difference in their lives, and also for Bobby's father, Rob Carpenter, a 10-year NFL veteran.
And the QC Kinetics team are seasoned medical professionals.
One of the cool things about being the medical director of QC Kinetics is the privilege I have of working with our staff, who have 15 years of experience in regenerative medicine.
You could be next. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus and call QC Kinetics today for your complete complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Shop low prices and great deals all week long at Meijer. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more on hundreds of items across the store, like General Mills cereal, Swanson broth, and 12 packs of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products. And don't forget about the spooky good deals on Halloween items, such as buy 2, get 1 free Halloween snack or jumbo-sized candy. And 20% off Halloween tabletop serving, drinkware, and dinnerware. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Get your ex to the lodge for the freshest menu additions. Spice up your wing order with new sauces featuring the chicken tikka or spicy chili crisp. Or try our famous flatbreads with the backyard barbecue brisket or chicken tikka. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Leaves changing and the nighttime air is cool. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace. Protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns. Call 614-232-2222 now to schedule.
Just how liberal is Sherrod Brown? Take a look at his actual votes. That's what Debbie from the Cleveland area did.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown. Now I hear he's super liberal, so I went and looked at his votes. Brown voted to allow late-term partial birth abortions. It's horrific. The AMA said it should be banned. But Sherrod voted for it more than once.
In fact, Sherrod Brown voted for partial birth abortion 6 different times.
Partial birth abortion? Allowing trans biological men in girls' locker rooms and girls' sports? Sex change surgery for kids? He seemed like a good guy, but with Brown's voting record, I just can't vote for him.
Sherrod Brown has let us down. When you look at his actual votes, Sherrod Brown is just way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Blue skies, light winds, and a warm finish on this Tuesday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, down to the low to mid 50s by Wednesday morning with partly cloudy skies and light winds. We'll stay dry during the day. We'll see a few more clouds. It'll be breezy, but still warmer than average by Wednesday afternoon with highs in the upper 70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Dumb. Very dumb. This is Man and Bone.
Timmy Hall is in. Panama Ted is in. We have got a game show coming up 5:34. The game show came from our listener, one of our listeners. Actually, the only listener we have, Taylor, sent us this one. Horror movie title or hardcore band name? That's what we're doing at 5:34.
Oh, boy. Can't wait.
I'm going to give these questions to Timmy, and we'll see how he does. By the way, tomorrow, plenty of great options for you on The Fan. Morning Juice has got Michael Bennett, former Buckeye, in studio at 7:33. Yeah, good to see Mike Bennett being on here. Also, Jack Johnson, Blue Jackets defenseman, back with the team. He'll be on at 8:48. You've got more Jackets love if you want it. Rothman and Ice at 2:30. We'll have Hockey and Hounds with Zach Werenski. So two
Very
guys.
Cool. 2 defensemen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully they play well tonight, both of them.
Yep, they've got the game tonight against Toronto. Coverage starts at 7. Game is at 7:30 right here on The Fan. So Jackets looking to get back after their 3-1 loss to Minnesota last weekend. That's all right. Toronto coming in here. Another home game. Should be a fun night. Hopefully they can get the job done. We're looking forward to all that. Tomorrow, of course, on our show, a little thing called Wild Card Wednesday, one of our favorite things we do all year. All year, all week, whatever. All the same.
Baby. That's a day. It's a heck of a day.
Timmy, you know how much on this program we love natural grass on the field.
I do. So much so that the man begged me to plead with Ross Bjork when he was in studio last Wednesday.
That's right. Yes.
About bringing grass back to Ohio State.
We need it.
And I tried.
We want it.
And it's not going to happen. It doesn't seem like that's going to be happening anytime soon.
I'd like to know.
With all the events that they want to have there, and it's cheaper for them to do it.
Oh, cheaper. That's what we want. That's what I've always heard about Ohio State. Take the cheap route because we ain't got no cash. That's what I usually hear when Ohio State talks about it.
He didn't necessarily say that, but he did mention all the the and I could see where that's going. All the different events that you want to have at the shoe, and you don't want to beat up some grass. And obviously there's ways around that. I know. We all know that.
I just would point to the places that are actually doing this consistently. They have events. Cleveland Browns, they're stupid. They're one of the dumbest franchises in the history of sports. They figured out how to grow grass up on the lake in a terrible location. I'm sure half the year it's frozen anyway.
Right,
but they just had a SummerSlam up there in that stadium.
And
outdoors.
Isn't the NFL...
That's all covered up.
Isn't the NFLPA also looking into artificial turf, essentially the same exact surface that all the college football stadiums
I'm sure they all
are equipped with?
Yeah.
And try to do what they can to get their players not playing on that stuff anymore.
they don't want it to happen because they've seen that it is. I know the NFL sent out some kind of BS studies where they're like, incidents last year between like September 27th and September 28th were really down. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, come on. You're just trying to find some numbers that work for it. It's not. Everyone knows natural grass surfaces are better for players than the turf surfaces, no matter how much they've been improved. Go ask any team in England or in Europe that plays soccer, and say, would you like your players to play on field turf? The answer is no. When they come here, even for Ohio State trucked in some grass when you had Chelsea playing Manchester City. I was at that game. It was natural grass. It wasn't the field turf, but they'll let the college players play on it all day.
Yeah, I mean, that they probably wouldn't have come if they didn't do that.
No, they wouldn't come.
That's what that was about.
They're not stupid. They're not going to risk their players' knees on this grass for an exhibition game. Absolutely not.
So to have that one event there, they put the surface down.
They'll do it again, too, the next time those guys come with a check. They'll make them do it.
Do that for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part, they can just leave the field turf there and they'll play on it.
And I'm quite sure those teams pay for that. I'm just pointing out they would gladly fork over the money than risk their players' knees on that or ankles or anything else. So here's the latest on the natural grass versus turf debate. The formerly Oakland A's, now I guess I don't know what we're calling them. They're going to play in Sacramento next year. So the Sacramento A's?
Sacramento A's, possibly?
The Sac A's, whatever. They are going to be playing in Sacramento's Sutter Health Park, also home to the Giants' top farm club, the River Cats.
The River Cats.
So you got to share a minor league ballpark with one of the teams that would supposedly be like a rival team for you, even though they were in another league, in the Giants. You got to share their park for 3 years because it's going so well for John Fisher, the owner of the A's.
This is just ridiculous.
A stupid idea to begin with.
We're going to play 3 years in a minor league park.
Yeah.
You know what? It's better than O.co.
Well,
it's bigger than you expected.
Here's how stupid it is. They play on turf there. They have field turf. And the Major League Baseball players have basically said, no, not just the A's players. Major League Baseball Players Association is saying, players don't want to play on this. It's going to be ridiculously hot. They have had a record number of days this past summer in Sacramento where they were over 100 degrees.
115. And they've been up at 115 in the peak of summer. In Sacramento. I thought that was Northern California the last I checked.
It is, but it doesn't matter. It's hot there, too.
Oh, that is crazy.
So then they're going to play games, presumably during that heat, and they're going to play it on turf. And the players have said, look, turf is bad for your knees and all that stuff, too. But it's also extraordinarily hot compared to regular grass. When it comes to those type of temperatures, it does something where it reflects the heat back. It makes you feel even hotter on those fields. So they have said, we don't want this to happen. After initially balking at it, now the A's and Major League Baseball have said, fine, we'll let you have it. You can have natural grass there. So they're going to work to put natural grass in for the duration of the time that they are there. Again, even that idiot owner, John Fisher, is going to say, yeah, we'll find a way. We'll make it happen, I guess, because I know you guys are going to revolt if we don't. I don't know why Ohio State can't figure it out. It's not that hard. Get grow lamps, get sprinklers. You have an ag department who I'm sure would love to be in charge of maintaining that and use that as credit when the half of them are trying to go get those type of jobs anyway. When they get out of there, go ahead and use them to do that. Not use them, but let them use you to help learn how to do this stuff. It's not hard.
I'm just trying to imagine back in the day when guys would play on the AstroTurf, which was just straight up concrete with a thin layer of green felt on top of it. And just how that would feel on your joints, on your kneecaps, on your elbows, when you would get bodied by some of these NFL dudes. Or if you're just talking about baseball too, when you're going to go sprawl out for a diving catch.
Absolutely.
And that's the surface that you have to just slam your body down on. I find it hard to believe that they're... So was this Sacramento Stadium going to be switched out of natural grass? Because the file photo I'm looking at, it is a grass surface. So they were going to take the grass out and put artificial turf in?
That's even more stupid.
What are we doing?
I didn't realize they were even talking about doing that.
What baseball stadiums can you think of that are outdoor stadiums that have field turf? None, right?
None.
It's
very rare, even with the ones that are
Walk over to Huntington Park. It's a beautiful grass surface out there.
Now, years ago, Cooper Stadium, back in the day before, so Cooper Stadium was natural surface. They switched it to turf for most of my childhood. And then when I was in high school, I think they switched it over again to grass for the last few years. Then they moved to Huntington Park, and it's been natural grass ever since. But yeah, there was a time, because I played T-ball as a kid, and our little league got to go on the field and play in the outfield. They would put like 3 games in the outfield.
Oh, baby. T-Bone played at Cooper, huh?
Yeah. And let me tell you, we had black uniforms, and as I was running around that day, I tripped on someone's glove, fell and face planted, and I skidded up I got a little rug burn from the AstroTurf on my cheek. And to this day, the picture that my mom has from that day, they took our team photo there, and I got a little red spot right under my eye from where I hit the turf. But it was hot, man. I remember that day being uncomfortable as a kid and just thinking, oh, this is miserable. And I don't know what the temperature was. I'm just saying, I even felt it back then as a kid. It was gross. Not a place that I think any major leaguer would want to play on.
Yeah.
But that's what they were thinking of doing, apparently.
Totally understand it. It doesn't seem like you're going to really find any baseball player that's going to say field turf better than natural grass.
Yeah, but here we are. So I'm just saying, even them, they have figured out that's the way to go. So everyone else who's not doing that, take a cue from
the A's.
The A's, of all people.
One of the worst owners in sports.
Yep, indeed. All right, game show's next. It's Man and Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza, home of the Grandview Browns backers.
You should watch out for an accident that's blocking the left lane on northbound 270 on the East Outer Belt after 33. Police are on scene causing some holdup there. And we have a 25-minute delay on westbound 670 between 5th Avenue and 315. This report is sponsored by Z-Bart. Tough roads demand tougher protection. Shield your vehicle's underside with genuine Z-Bart undercoating from $2.99 and fortify your truck bed against scratches, impacts, and dents with Rhino Lining Spray-On Bed Liner starting at $4.99. Z-Bart, your vehicle's best defense. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Scotty Vegas here, and I got to share this story from the weekend. So we're doing a live broadcast at Hollywood Casino Columbus, and this awesome couple, Beth and Chuck, come up to me. They heard my Awaken 180 endorsement and decided to place their bet on the best payout in town, their health. They started earlier this year, and man, we had a blast talking about how great Awaken 180's been for all of us. Even traded some food tips. Beth hooked me up with an Awaken 180 approved cheesecake recipe. Wings, pizza, cheesecake, all on the menu when losing weight with Awaken 180. The best part, we all have Patrick as our coach, and just like you trust your bookie, we trust him to make the right calls on our health. It's a winning system, no question. You don't need luck, just the right game plan, and Awaken 180 gives you that every single week. If you're ready to cash in on your own health jackpot, call 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com and place your bet on a new you.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, you've reached Teresa and Benny. You know the drill.
Hey, Teresa, it's Armando from Chase. Congrats on closing. I'm sure Benny will love playing fetch in your new backyard.
Your Chase Home Lending Advisor will be there from pre-approval to closing. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Welcome to the Plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the Plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the Plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Back when I was banging, this show slapped. Whatever the hell that means. You're listening to Common Man and T-Bone.
By the way, I got to thank our guy, Uncle Bo. Bo Bishop sent me a text message today. So Bo lives, in the Northeast Ohio region, obviously.
I think fans could tell that he doesn't do his show from the Fan studio by now. They see it on YouTube.
But I am a fan of a place called Cuyahoga Valley National Park. I love that park. It's up in Northeast Ohio near Cleveland. Bo does the Brown show 1 to 3 every day after doing his show here. And so I asked him, I said, if you're ever out by that park, if you could, at this time of year with the fall foliage, if it looks like we're getting into
we're getting there. Yeah.
Color.
Yeah.
I love going up and doing a little leaf peeping. I will, especially in that place, take a hike and go walking around and just look at the foliage. I am all about the foliage in the fall. So I asked him, because I've heard Northeast Ohio, we got hit kind of harder with the drought. South of 70 and beyond, it's not supposed to be that pretty this time of year because of getting no rain this year. The trees, they just lock up and go right to brown. But they said up north it should be better. So I asked him, send me a photo if you see it. And so he was driving out today and he said, hey, I found you something. He sent me a couple text messages. Folks, we're getting there. It's looking like this weekend I may have to try to swing up there and see what's what.
Well, you told me, and Bo's very successful. His entire family is. And you told me that his home basically backs up to Cuyahoga National Park.
Apparently it's apparently close. Man. I don't know.
I mean, I've seen little shots from his home on Instagram or whatever he shares on social media, and the property just looks phenomenal. I mean, it's a gorgeous spot. I mean, that's Bo Bishop we're talking about.
It's a good thing to be Bo Bishop.
Property's got to match the hair.
It's a gated community, too.
Oh, my
Is that
God.
Right? There you go. Even better.
Oh, a guy like me couldn't get in there.
No. What, him and Common Man?
Ted?
I think him and Common Man, the two that live in gated communities around here, right? Those are the two. He can't defend himself. He's not here.
Those are the two that would have the most shared life experiences.
Oh, I agree.
Right?
Except I do think Bo would get out and walk in the woods a little bit. I think he'd go, and Mike might every once in a while for like 10 minutes.
Alone.
Yeah, that's it.
I could see Mike doing that. I could see that being a good thing for him because he doesn't like to be around the people.
Well,
and
you can't go this time of year and not miss. There's going to be tons of people up there.
Not necessarily.
Not
necessarily.
They're out for this.
Well, no, I'm telling you, we have a lot of great metro parks around town.
I love that.
And most of the times that I go out there, because I do this too. I can't say that I've gone as frequently as you have, but once a week or so, especially when it gets cooler. You know me with the hot temps. I don't jive with the hot temps and all the sweaty stuff that goes on. But going to Prairie Oaks Metro Park, Darby Creek Metro Park,